two issues that I've said, and I'll repeat with Anthony, is that most of the stuff that I hear from him is disparaging for black people. I heard somebody say that he employs black people. That's cool. Plantation owners employ black people too. The plantation owners probably got their hands by black people, and then plantation owners had their children drinking from black nipples. So employing black people isn't the benchmark and litmus test for how well you treat black people. And so I have a thing that I told people. I was at a quota of hearing disparaging remarks about our culture. I don't know if Anthony was in there at that particular time. And I've always challenged him. I said, look, man, all I ever hear from you in most rooms, where that might seem like here, and I didn't use those words, but it seems like you're always downing black culture. Everything you say, it is thanks to black people ain't shit. And I just got pretty much exhausted with it. I tried to be always respectful when the gentleman is on the stage, because that's the forum that I think we need to keep. But at the end of the day, I don't like how he's spoken to black women. I don't like how he demonizes black culture. And lastly, and I'll close it here, and with all due respect, Anthony, I feel like Anthony has the glass jaw. People walk into the room and call me stupid or don't know anything about them and say they're welfare babies or weak men. But if you punch Anthony, he cries foul and appeals to the moderator. So I just say, if you're going to dish that shit out, you got to be able to take it. I'll leave it there.
All right, so as per usual, I'm the lone nigga standing on my square. And then motherfuckers got the nerve to say I got a glass jaw. You can't make this shit up. It be me against the whole fucking room for Dolomite. And then motherfuckers gonna say something about a glass jaw? Yo, like I'm by myself, taking on a whole fucking room, a chat, a bunch of moderators, and motherfuckers gonna say that I got a glass jaw.
Definitely have your raccoon squad around you.
Yo,
like a bunch of raccoons.
Anyway, I want to address what he said specifically.
Your headliner, right? Your score.
All right, yo, as I want to focus on what he said specifically. You were talking directly to me. It wasn't just a general comment. You were talking to me specifically.
That's why I said hit.
That's so with this idea of a hit dog hollering. I don't have to mention people's names and they'll come off a mic. I know exactly what to say to get each individual off the goddamn mic. So anyway, and I ain't gotta mention their name. So CEO, listen, bro. Me and you smoked the peace pipe. You know you're a father. God bless you. I wish you nothing but the best and your family nothing but the best. I ain't got no issue with that. I love people. I love black people. I love white people. I love Asian people. I love everybody. I don't judge a book by its cover. I mentioned the fact that there was no white community the same way I mentioned the fact that there was no black community. These ideas I know are controversial to the blackity blacks. I know this stuff triggers the blackity blacks, the people who've watched Sinners 100 times and Get Out 2,000 times. Those people, my ideas really, really offend, and they get really, really upset when they hear those ideas. But this idea that black people invented everything, black people built America from scratch, black people is responsible for every positive innovation, that is insulting to black people. This self-aggrandizing says, yo, you know what? We all come from kings and queens. If we all came from kings and queens, who are the fucking peasants? Who are the servers? These are the ramblings of insecure people. All they want to hear
are kings, so I don't know what you're talking about.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, man. So this idea that we can only say positive, good things about black people. This is the only things that we can say. It's nonsense, and I challenge it, and I'm gonna keep pushing back. And I'm sorry if it offends you.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
If you give me 1 second, just respond to me.
You got it. I can say. Go ahead.
Just 1 second. Anthony, here's what I'll say, and I don't think I need to even really refute or rebuttal, because your position is really consistent. I'll give you that much, right? You said a lot of things. Most people have heard them. But here's what I challenge you to do, Anthony. Go into an Italian room or a Jewish room and denigrate, insult, and critique their cultures, because I've never heard you in any room speak on anything with disparagement and then the tone that you speak, other than punching down, in my humble opinion, on black people. Go into a Jewish room and come back to this room and report how.
Shit.
When he says everybody says that we're kings and queens and we come from royalty and we invented traffic and helicopters and engines and whatever else, right? That he's being disingenuous in the submission, and he knows that, right? He plays a game, because one thing I do know about Anthony is he's not slow, and he knows how to play chess, and he's thinking a couple moves ahead. He can speak to a certain aspect or a small portion of black society that would believe that, just like the other people that believe that they're not driving, they're traveling, and they're autonomous and operate independent of the United States law and all that stupid shit. Excuse me for saying that, but that's how I feel, right? But then there's the portion of us that completely, and I'd say the majority if you were to ask me, right? But I'll be openly honest and say I'm biased, right? I see a lot of people that understand our shortcomings, our strengths, and are giving a realistic analysis of who we actually are, right? And I think that would be the majority of us. I don't think everybody thinks they're king, everybody thinks they're queen. I think you should hold yourself and move in that regards, treat yourself the best you can, right? Because you're setting the standard for how other people treat you. So if you treat yourself on a lower level, then you are peasant adjacent, therefore, you might as well be a peasant at that point, to the peasant portion of the conversation. But when I do look around my immediate family, Anthony, when I look at my uncle and aunt, they're attorneys who met because they were operating as attorneys, and you don't want to hear them two argue. When I look at my father, he's a chemist. When I look at my sister, she has a doctorate. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the things that are, this is my reality when I look around me, and these are the type of individuals that have had influence on me. And now, do I have my portion of the family that are not as affluent or intelligent or have the same work ethic? Yes, there's just, but they represent such a small portion of my family, right? So would I focus in on that and say, hey, we come from peasantry, or would I focus in on the greatness that's around me, and my father, who's still very actively involved in my life right now, right? That's my focal point. That's my guiding beacon. You understand what I'm saying? How you?
And I don't know how good his chess level is. I feel you on that. He plays chess. Okay, cool. There's a lot of different masters of chess. But I do know as a people, we are so destined. Understanding, unlike what the slave master taught us about ourselves, he found us in the jungle with bones in our nose, and it's almost like this all Anthony want to know. And when you feel the spirit, what I'm saying is this: the excellence that never gets talked about in mainstream media, ever. You got to dig and find it, or have your own family members. I got family judges and all kind of stuff in my family, man. So the reality of understanding this story, when you got generations in the game, especially to just then see what the media has done to us and the portrayal and therefore the duplication of nonsense that happens amongst all people, including us. Nobody ever tries to say black people don't have no room for growth. We ain't got no room for improvement. But when you talk, you let it be known you're not a part of the improvement part. You're a part of the just bow down to the Anthonys of the world that are black, that have got good friendship with white, and just fall on in and and just take your role. And this is so counter to the spiritual. It's so counter to the standing for 400 years to come through, and we're still here without a president for the black community, without a head to all of this. We definitely understand there's a black culture in America. There's a black culture all over this damn planet. But there's a definite black culture. If you think you're going to sum it up and have to answer a question, well, tell me what it is then, and you get 5 seconds to explain it, hell to the no. It is so diverse. It is so multi-layered. It is so nuanced. It is so many ranges of it. But the bottom line is, without that head, we still here. And if in any area you want to talk about, we thriving. Pick up industry. I'll find you some black folks that are thriving, many of them in that industry. And to not shine light on that, and to be around white folks while they get everybody says this cooning idea. Because that's a definition. The brother said, well, is it cooning if you do this or that or whatever your children? Is it cooning when you in a room with white folks and you saying the negative shit? It'd be bad enough if you had the courage to say it in black folks. And both black folks know you ain't going to no black real neighborhoods talking that shit. But you'll do it and you around these white folks getting favor and Mojo in here. Oh, yeah, he represents the black community. And when you become that stepping fetch it, when you become the embodiment of saying them words, man, there's no tolerance, there's no love, there's no idea that, well, we need to just settle for that. You will never represent black people, man, ever. It's a hell of a high bar to say you're going to represent black folks. A lot of folks been competing for generation after generation to represent what the fullness of what black is, man. But the very least criteria is you're going to tell the truth, and you're not going to be settling on the worst part of our story. Every damn time.
But I will say this. I'm gonna land here 30 seconds. I will say this. Look, this is an audio app. I'm looking at the goo now. I'm looking on stage. I think I believe probably everybody on here has said some stuff that they regret, right? You know, and I think we use the word cooning too loosely on this app because a lot of y'all been anti-black. Even y'all pro-blackers, let's be honest, you know? So I think we pick and choose when we do it. I didn't see y'all say some stuff and you had white folks in the goo, white folks listening, and y'all being anti-black as hell, right? So to just single-handedly and pick out Anthony, I think we're all doing ourselves a disservice. Keeping it real.
I'm calling out a cook-off right now. Omar, you and I need to have a dialogue real quick. But first I need some explanation. I'm a little slow. I'm not the sharpest spoon. I'm not even a sport, so you have to bear with me, okay? Explain to me the blackety-black pro-blackers, right? Whatever the fuck that means. If you can explain to me the different instances, and pick out any one of us on stage, including myself. I'm not taking myself out of the battle. You show me where they have been anti-black consistently, and we'll definitely address that. Let's do that.
I said we have moments. I said we all have moments.
No, you're speaking for yourself.
No, because I'm just putting all of us in the.
Nah, you can't do that. I'm not getting. That's not my
He's
Uber.
talking about him, Anthony, and Jamal.
No,
yeah, that's not my Uber. I don't fit in that car.
Look at you, you lined up right there. Look, bingo.
I said Anthony's my brother, but we don't win in his head. Yeah, we win in his head in the ring.
Hold up, I want to hear Omar's submission. I want to hear Omar's.
Gemini, right? Everybody attacking Anthony. Yeah, Gemini. I was in this room, right? Pointy nose motherfucker. Listen, I was in this room, right? And I was saying, yeah, black folks can use jobs that pay $35 an hour, right? I was using that example, right? This room, people came off their mic. Oh no, don't no black people want them jobs. Ain't it $35 an hour? That ain't nothing. Blah 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 blah. That was anti-black to me. No, that happened.
What are you doing?
I was in there, JD. I don't think he was in there.
Yeah, I'm with you, JD.
I was here.
Okay, who said I was there? Who was that?
First lady.
First lady, what happened?
What happened was they were saying that the $35 still wasn't enough, and why would you just want to settle for $35 versus more than that? That's really what the conversation was. But he took it as if the 35, they were saying that 35 was bad. They were just saying that the 35, it's hard to live off of $35 an hour and raise a family. So
$1,400 a week.
Communication.
But I also think that a lot of people.
Internet and stuff like that.
I think a lot of people be fronting on Clubhouse and would be happy to take a job for $35 an hour. But everybody on here is millionaires and billionaires and got helicopters and so.
Niggas talking bad about my $2,500 a week. $2,000 a week. They did, that ain't shit. They say, you call that real money? Say that's all. They say, you call that real money? That ain't no damn money. I'm like, well, I'm making $8 grand. Can $8 grand a motherfucking month? Anti-black statements, y'all. Believe it, if we believe it or not, man. When people be talking like that, and that ain't shit. could
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what.
Anthony's gonna be Anthony. Anthony's gonna be Anthony. I think we should stop centering Anthony because, like he said, he is in here fighting by himself. Because I'm not on his side on this shit, even though I said he's my brother. But let's not even center him. Let's.
No, I'm gonna tell you why, right? If this is because at first, at one point, I thought, I spend more time with Anthony than most people in the room because of the different spaces we modded in and the conversations we had. And I do have a respect for his intellect, and I do have a respect for certain aspects of him that I've seen that I would respect from any man, the way he conducts himself. And then he has certain aspects I'm like, what the fuck? Right? And that's being all the way real. So the reason why I had the conversations is, at first I was like, okay, he's an antagonist. He's intentionally taking the opposite side of the conversation for the sake of conversation because Clubhouse gets born with echo chambers. That was my initial thought. But then I started seeing the consistency. Like with your submission, Omar, you said there are people that inconsistently say things that are not pro-black and randomly do this and that. But that still doesn't go towards what we're discussing. We're talking about consistency. No matter what form, and by his own admission in this room, whatever form, whatever room, I still stand on my square. I still say the same rhetoric. I spill the same rhetoric, whether y'all agree with it or not. Whether it's
Can I ask you a question, Gemini?
1 second. Let me conclude my thought, and I'll be happy to answer your question. I'm not going to be long-winded. So, with that being said, like when I hear certain talking points, and I know the intelligence level that I'm dealing with, it's extremely frustrating to me. It feels like you're intentionally sticking to this talking point, even though you know it could be refuted by fact. And that is where I get frustrated at. Go ahead. What was your question?
Yeah, what's the benefit of a black person talking about hate statistics about black women in a room full of predominantly white supremacists?
And to me, that is shucking and jiving, sir.
Yeah, fuck that nigga.
Gemini, I kind of take your sentiment too. Gemini, I kind of take your sentiment too because I've seen Anthony in other spaces, right? And not dealing with politics or anything. I'm like, that's a cool brother, blah, 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 right? And I think maybe I'm using my bias, because I honestly don't think Anthony and his day-to-day life thinks as hard or aggressive as he do on his Clubhouse app.
He literally has a black wife.
But listen, this app brings out the kind of, like you said, the contradiction, the combative side of people. It's more of the app. So I think app
But the guy talking about in a room full of, predominantly, like the majority of the people in that space were white supremacists. That's a liar. The majority of the people in that room were actually black. All right? And JB, the host of that room, all right, that happens to be white, was actually defending the so-called black point of view. All right? So, like, and then, he's been disparaged on the stage. He's been, I left that room in anger. I left that room on some fuck all y'all motherfuckers. That's the way I left that room. All right? So it's like this idea that, this was an echo chamber of white people dissing black people, it's a fucking lie.
Yeah, I didn't say all that. Nobody said that. I didn't say all that.
Let me get y'all out of here. So get y'all content. Y'all loved it. Y'all kept going in there. Some of y'all was even mods. Let's be honest. So, just he got rolled up out of that motherfucker. He vanished.
I was there. First lady said she was modded, so why are you mentioning that again?
I was there. The first lady was in there.
I went in there only
Yeah,
because first
y'all
lady was
ladies
in there.
gotta screen these motherfuckers better. Shit.
So here's my issue with it, right? What are you fucking racist? Oh my God.
He's not. He can't be racist. Go ahead.
Who's that talking?
That's me. Good morning, good afternoon, guys.
What up, Black?
Yeah, how's it going? Like,
It still be throwing me off when I see that HK, bro.
I know.
Go ahead, Phil.
So this is one of those heartbreaking conversations I have on the past, right? Because at one side, it's like, it fires me up, right? Pisses me off when I hear people say, well, we don't have black culture. On the other side, it's kind of sad. Like, I feel sad for them, right? Because it's like, we walk on the earth and just those blinders on, not seeing the beauty of our community, right? Not seeing how beautiful New Orleans is, how great the culture is down there, Atlanta, Chicago, Philadelphia, Detroit, it's just kind of sad. But here's the problem I have, right? I don't have these conversations because my mom always told me, not everybody's going to make it, right? We're not going to convince everybody to be on our call, to agree with answer off. But the dangerous thing about people who tend to continue to punch down on our community publicly, right, is that they have conversations with people, and those people make decisions and have a implicit bias that hurts other people. If it comes to the interview room, right, they hear what's going on, they hear the talking points, and they go interview somebody, and they see a name, they go, oh, this person's not gonna be good. The reason why we're fighting this whole DEI issue, right? We're fighting all the issues we're fighting now is because of people's ignorance and looking at stereotypes on surface level. And so when we go somewhere and we have a minority in a room reinforcing these stereotypes, doubling down on it, it becomes a poison. And that poison spreads. And we don't see the effects of it because you're still here. But people are listening. And those people are walking away with opinions and it's affecting other people's lives. It's disingenuous to come in here and attack our culture, say so-called black community. That's the worst thing in the world, right? But then turn around and then romanticize every other community. Talk about the IRS, talk about how they have things. Like, it's dangerous. It's deadly, right? I fight every day to break that stereotype, and people like that reinforce it. And young men who are trying to get the opportunity don't get the opportunity because of the messaging and the branding that these kind of conversations have. That's the deadly part about it, right? Is that your words carry power, and that power goes to other people, and those people act on it. Like that's the only thing. But I'm not here to convince anybody to act change a certain way. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, right? There's people out here who love to stick for animals, and they continue to do that, right? I can't convince them not to. But we have to if we care about people, we have to understand that our words carry power and weight.
So can I say one more thing?
Sleeping with animals is a crazy analogy.
Listen, I feel like a lot of these conversations require context. I mean, I don't like calling people coons or denigrating people individually. To what you're saying, HK, I mean, it's having a difference in opinion or a criticism of black people or black culture, I don't think makes you a coon. What I think is coonish is when you're doing it not for the benefit of black people, but to portray black people in a particularly negative manner to people who are not black.
Okay, so to the last speaker, man, the very first thing that struck me when you were speaking, HK, not agent, previous speaker, was when you talk about, it was like you always do this, you talk about what your mama taught you. Why you guys never talk about what your father taught you? There's a reason. There's a reason why you guys are like this, all right? It's because of the matriarchy, all right? The matriarchy has you in a chokehold, all right? I'm sorry. I'm happy to start a GoFundMe for you to move your father. I'm happy for, I'd be the first contributor to your GoFundMe so you can meet your father for the first time. So this
no. Let me stop you there.
Yeah. You gotta let him finish his submission. And Black, I will make sure you get the same grace. I promise you, brothers. We're done, Anthony, or were you still going?
All right, so as I was saying, like, this, you weren't in the room. You don't know what the fuck God said. I said that there's no black community. I also said there's no white community. I talked about sub-community. If you want to talk about black people in Louisiana or New Orleans specifically, hell fucking yeah, there's a fucking community of them. There are subcultures. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's Irish. There's black people in New York. There's black people in Brooklyn. They are absolutely communities, but there's no overarching black community. There's no overarching white community. There's no overarching black culture. There's no overarching white culture. Like, if you don't know the nuance, stop speaking on this shit.
I point out the intellectual flaw that you're making.
No, let me respond. Let me respond. This makes my face.
Would you give me 30 seconds? 30 seconds, I promise.
All right, so we'll do this. 30 seconds on CO, then it goes to Black, and Black, whenever you're done, nobody will interrupt you, then we'll go back to Pop.
So there's so many points to unpack in all of this, but just on the one point that Anthony's mentioned a few times about there's no white and there's no white and black are mythical terms that they use for subjugation. But when we attach culture to it, anything can be a culture. right? So to have his only point be the attack of black culture is actually racist, right? Let me tell you what I mean. Irish culture, there's no overarching cultures. There's multiple Irish subcultures. There's multiple French subcultures. Every culture has a subculture. So to spend all of your time making an intellectual argument defying that there's no black subculture, no black culture is disingenuous. Let me just tell you what I thought was really brilliant with the person that was in JD's room over the Healthy Debate. He said there might not be black culture, but there's black cultures. And all he did is took one little letter and changed the frame of the whole conversation, meaning there are multiple black cultures. We're limiting ourselves. We're not one black culture. There are multiple black cultures, and I love that now.
Yeah, but it's also a black culture.
No. Hold on. It's on HK. It's on HK.
So listen. This is where the sickness I was talking about earlier about influence. When I was in the room, you heard somebody say, I said my mother, I was raised by two parents. So sometimes my dad, sometimes I'm like two parents from two different perspectives. One was military, one was a teacher. So when I have the relevance of it, so I have hopes for both parents. But see what happened, this is a sickness. Don't know me from can of paint. All you heard me say, one submission. But he inherited the white stereotype of what? You don't know your father. This is where you see my father. You don't want to see my father. If my father knew what you just said to me just now about his wife, he would have to be, he would be here right now. I'm honest about that. But listen, but the problem is, right, we have these conversations. People don't even know. People don't even know, right?
Hold on, Anthony.
Listen, see, here's the problem, right? Y'all we conflate intelligence with articulation, but true intelligence is understanding. The lack of understanding that is displayed by individuals is sad. It's sickening. To me, it's not even about being ignorant. It's a sickness to me. These people need help. They need to actually be treated. We need to have a rehab for this because it's sad. It's sad to hear somebody parrot the same tropes I hear from a white person, or I hear from Tucker Carlson, right? This is the danger we have in our community, right? The people will just parrot, they'll bait, they'll try to get you off your board and say the most disrespectful, disparaging things without attacking the points. My point was about messaging, and that was never addressed. The only thing that was addressed was the disrespect of my heritage and my lineage. But that's all they have is attacks and disrespect. This is why I don't have these conversations with people like that, because it's never genuine. It's going to be aggression, it's going to be attacks, it's going to be disrespect.
Yeah, and I just want to give a pushback. It is an overarching black culture, right? I mean, we can go to the black church, we can go to the vernacular. It's the reason why in Los Angeles, I'm way on the goddamn East Coast. If I say certain stuff, Sue gonna pick up on it. Jamal's is North Carolina. So there is an overarching black culture also. So I kind of disagree with Anthony on that. I will say this. Every group on the planet of this world, ethnic group, I don't care where you at, you have a culture. Particularly blacks in America, you got a culture. So I don't know why we have this debate.
Yeah, Omar, you just gotta say black American culture, though.
See, that's why what I always point out is the weeds that Anthony forces us to have to go down. To your point, CO, and to what HK just said, where now he enjoys apparently censoring himself so much that now we have to have these debates really to legitimize his whole point, opposed to, this is my opinion, okay, great, next person, what's your opinion? Okay, next person. And we could have 100, 1,000 different people share their thing, and that never is allowed to happen because he's a master at deceit and moving it to where now every conversation got to be about him when we're talking about the black community, because he has to use this tactic of, oh, this is my opinion, and it becomes the centralized theme of every damn thing that he touches. It becomes about, now, that's where there's a huge pushback, because it's like, bro, slow the hell down. You don't represent the voice, like Mojo said. He's the black voice for Clubhouse. We know it's not. However, when it is given so much airtime, especially the NWs or whoever that really don't know, they brand new, they're 25 years here, they this and that, they don't know all the layers to this, they begin to reiterate these same crazy talking points because they sit back and say, well, nobody's checking him. Obviously, if there were some real blacks that knew black culture, surely, and these black rooms especially, somebody would shut him up. Somebody would be like, because like in the Jewish world, it happens. In the Italian, any other world, someone brought up a little while ago, you don't have other cultures, and they got quiet as a church mouse when CL threw it out there. Please go into any of these rooms and highlight the negative shit that goes down in the Chinese world or the Jewish world or the Irish world or please do that, man. So then we can say you are consistent. You do that across the board. But when you don't, we know what we're looking at.
Hey, but shoot, to be fair though, in many white circles, you do hear that narrative, oh, it ain't no white culture. And I even hear black folks say that too. But it is a white culture, you know what I mean?
Hold on. There's not a white culture. There's Italian culture, Irish culture, Polish culture. There is not a white culture. Hold on, one second. Unless you're talking about like Southern white, like Confederacy white. Talking about Confederacy white.
Hold on, CEO. In the context of America, right? Can we agree that the Polish, the Irish, the Italian boys, they all like American football almost like? Can we agree on that, at least?
Yeah, but that's not white.
No.
Okay,
Yes, we can, but
it's American culture.
That's American culture, yeah.
Hold on, no, what it is, see, that's what I said. It's white American.
No, that's just American culture.
No. Okay, see, let me present another argument. See,
y'all
let me try, because I think the argument
is Europeans.
Well, let me say this, because a lot of people look at it in terms of
Europeans don't like American football.
Guys, let me just respond to that. Yes, I'm just saying, even among white people, if you refer to them as such, right? They believe that they have a culture that is different from other ethnicities. So, if you're familiar with the term like WASP, you know what a WASP is. So, I hear in many, let me just finish. I've heard in many instances where white Americans refer to, their culture and their ideas and their communities. So just the idea that you don't believe that they have one doesn't make that true. But it's a social concept. So if they believe they have a community, if they believe that they're a part of a collective, if they believe that there are attributes that separate them from other people, whether you believe or not that it's a community, it fits the category.
I agree, Agent. I agree on that. That's 100%. Yeah, whites do have culture. Come on.
So Robert, what were you gonna say?
So those black men who don't take care of raise their children, is that a part of black culture? Is that black culture?
It's a part of our culture, yes. It's a part of black American culture. But not everything about our culture is fucking good. So it doesn't matter. But the reality of it is American first. And so that's the truth of the matter. We're American. And that's what is different from a black Nigerian or a black Ghanaian. We're black American, so the flavor that we bring is American flavor, and that's what makes us who we are, and that's why everybody around the globe centers around black American, because we're American. So that's what that is.
I'm just saying, be careful when y'all saying white Americans don't have culture, because that's the same thing when people say, "Oh, black Americans don't have a culture." Nah. Just because it's familiar with everybody and everybody, especially globally.
First of all, it was a stupid comment. Black men don't take care of their children. That was a stupid comment to make in general. It has nothing to do with culture. It's incorrect. It's unresearched, and you're an idiot for saying it.
Yeah, so Omar,
Who said that?
Yeah, someone did say that. But Omar, on the white American thing, okay, so I only hear whites in Confederate states or MAGA whites say that. I don't never hear what you're talking about in the mid-Atlantic, in the Northeast, on the West Coast. I don't never hear that. I don't never hear them even claim that.
No, they say it's CEO.
They say it in the Midwest, too.
Let me just give a quick anecdote.
Go ahead, Agent.
A quick anecdote. Like I said, it's not something that they talk about in front outside. But in a few instances, they will actually refer to those happy hours or those drinking events, and they say, oh you ever heard this term? And I'm assuming you may have heard this. Oh, you act white, or
yeah.
So what do you think they're referring to?
Yeah, but that's not a culture thing. That's like,
oh no, it's culture. It's culture.
Hey, CEO, you know who else says it? Gentrifiers that move from like the Midwest. When they come to like Philly and New York, they say, "Oh my God, we have no culture in the Midwest. You guys got all the culture here and all that." So white folks.
I'll give you the Midwest, but I guess my point is not very unifying, right? Like you're not gonna get white people in New York, Georgia, Cali, and Utah to agree on a culture. That's not gonna happen. You can get black people from different states to agree on their culture. Well, you can't get white people.
A culture is not the best point.
Yeah, China doesn't do that either.
That point right there that he just made. Guys, a culture is not created because people agree on certain things, right? It's like black folks in New York, right? Listen to a certain type of music, we move a certain way. Then you got a black community in another part of the country, same thing. But there's some undeniable stitches that link us together, right? Undeniable. We don't even have to have the same exact agenda, but there's certain things that we're automatically going to align over. So this notion that there has to be an agreement for a culture to exist is not true. A culture is manifested by how people surround themselves around the same things. They relate to each other. That's
what I'm calling agreement, just FYI.
And Robert,
I'm considering that agreement.
Let's understand the fact that there was a white fountain at some point, and white things that you could do in the community way back in America's history. Right. And there was everybody. The black folks could not drink from that fountain. So everything else was damn near in the black category to some extent, because black was definitely not in the white category. A lot of other folks, if you understand New Orleans and the French quarters and passing from Passé Blanc and passing for white. So understand, we talk the white culture, that's one thing. But to talk about everybody else is lumped into this category of non-white, which is black, but there was a definite thing about so-called Negro. You couldn't even say black, man. It was like a Negro or a colored boy or whatever. It was, so that's a part of the story too, the nuances that go along with that.
If I could just say something really quick, we squander our intellect and our academics on not understanding the simplicity of this conversation and what it stems from. If I could just say 60 seconds to do my best to unpack it, right? We should all stop right now and give the slave plantation owners, the 1600s and 1700s, a round of applause. They said if you put a shackle around an elephant's foot, make it walk in a circle, it'll keep walking in a circle for all this life. And here we are living in the vestiges of a plantation system, whether you call it Jim Crow or just trying to build a country. What I know for sure is that the concept of white was literally, like I said in the room, a concept created to subjugate black people, because in Europe, you couldn't tell the serfdom from the royalty if they got dressed right. That's why you have movies like Cinderella. So it was just so diabolically brilliant for them to come up with this concept that had never been used before in the way that we use it, of white, and then add the concept of black to it, right? That was never used. And think about how diabolical and brilliant that slave master was. Here we are for several hours on a Saturday in 2025 while they're rolling back black rights, white rights, and habeas corpus and due process in the government. And we're having several hours of conversation litigating something that was stuck in the violence. Here's what I'm trying to say. All we're talking about is what is black people? What is culture? What is white people? And we have these conversations ad nauseum in English. When we peel back the curtains for a minute, or the sheets, depending on how you allude to it, what we're discussing is the ambiguity of the term black. Whether we're black or colored or Negro or African or African American or Pan American or African American or Trinidadian, they wanted us to have these discussions. They wanted us to alienate ourselves from other people. The Russians knew how sensitive this Civil War fault line was, so much so that they spent the past 10 years jumping in every social media platform and creating fake platforms because they knew the way to destabilize America was to get black people and white people arguing over Confederacy or this, that, and the third. And we just realized if anybody did marketing over here, just think, what would our black culture look like if we were a marketing case study? We're just ambiguous in the way that we defined it, and we're in spaces. But it's the same thing for white people because they confuse some of them to a fault. The French look down on the British look down on the Irish, and all three of them look down on the Polish. The Protestants are fighting the Catholics. The Russian mafia and the Italian mafia sometimes have beef. So what I'm saying is white people aren't even as together as we try to describe it. So can we just please stop acting like we're having academic conversations when all we're saying is this ambiguous term that they gave us to sustain the division is still playing itself out several years later after the invention. I'll land it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it gives us niggas like Anthony.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'll say is, I don't know if I agree with it. I think your description of what it is actually accurate. What I don't agree with is, that there's no utility in having a discussion. If black people don't even know what black means or understand whether black people have a culture or not, or what African culture is, I think that speaks to a bigger issue, right? Whether it's anonymity or...
we do know what the culture is.
There's no one African culture either, y'all. There's no overall African culture.
That's why there's no overall African culture.
Agent, can you describe 3 tenets of white culture?
There's no overarching African culture.
When you say 3 tenets... When you say 3 tenets
of white culture.
When you say 3 tenets, so here's the thing. Tenets is a very specific word, and I'm very specific.
Individualism. That's
state words. So I think.
No assist. I want 3 tenets of white culture.
So here's the thing. Is I don't think to determine what white culture is. I think it's very contextual. So there's no, that's not true. That's not true. And that's not even speaking to whether it can be defined or not. You're speaking to whether I can actually define it or not, which I think is extremely disingenuous. So what I'm saying is that, these things are also show constructs. So, when they say that you're acting white, the thing might be definitely attribute of white characteristics, but would you say being able to dance or being able to rap is black? Not specifically, but it's black culture, right? So, for me, it would depend on the context of what they're actually referring to. So some of the cases where I'm actually being accused of playing white is doing activities that are normally associated with white people, like playing golf or tennis or eating medium rare steaks or wine and cheese. For me, it really depends on the context. Let me explain with this. So it's not up to me to actually determine what their culture is, but they can describe it.
Y'all sitting here speaking English, talking about what's white culture. Y'all, come on, y'all gotta stop.
You have a moment or get in the line, please.
He got golf.
Everybody has a culture, y'all. We gotta stop that.
Come on, we gotta have a cue so we can hear each other. Somebody's asking to get in. Who was that?
That was myself, Gary.
Go ahead, sir.
Well, I have a question to the room, and that is, okay, based on a people, Black, African, however you want to word it, based on we as a people, from where we were, how we got to where we are today. I just wanted to ask, is there anyone who would argue the fact that they have no pride in us as a people, where we are today? That's the only question I had. Is there anyone who would say, from whenever and whatever's happened in the past, we'll start with the Civil War, whatever it may be, as to where we are today, you have absolutely zero pride in us as a people? Anyone?
You're in the wrong room, brother.
Alright, nobody's gonna answer that question. Nobody would dare try to answer that question and say they're not proud. You see here? And you know why? Because they know our culture. They know our contribution. That's why nobody's gonna answer that question. That's why he.
Well, I heard someone say I was in the wrong room, and is that? What do you mean?
No. I was just saying that yeah, nobody. I was pretty much saying what Rob was going to say.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. And I ask that question because I can hear a lot of right in all different aspects of everyone speaking. And I can hear it's a lot of gray. Some dark clouds, thunder, lightning, whatever it may be. But I still hear a people who have some pride, have a lot of pride, maybe some more than others. It all depends on their journey on this planet and their experiences. But I ask that question because born in the 60s, understanding segregation and understanding being in a all-black school, and then being transitioned into a whole different type of system, and seeing how the system has done so many things to our people over time, I wanted to ask that question to see if we've lost that pride we had. And I still believe we have. It's why. Because when you come to the table with pride behind you, and people are hearing your experiences, can understand why you feel the way you feel, or why you bring the facts the way you bring them, it's good to just still hear the pride.
I don't understand.
Because that's the part, that little seed of pride, if that's worked out of us, then you're back in change.
Yeah, I know. So can you just provide an example of a lack of pride?
I would certainly like to hear that myself.
Let that brother do.
Okay, enough with the slave ham. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, well, let's leverage what that experiment was a unique experiment, right? So can we leverage that sense of pride? Can we leverage that shit? Like, why? I question individuals who are on a campaign to constantly derail, like, anything positive about black people, man. You have to question what creates a mind like that just because we have success, right? We own cars, we own property, we have money, and therefore we think we are free, or we think that we are not subjected to racism and prejudice. I have so many stories working in corporate and otherwise that give me examples every single day of how this society views black people, right? I was in Trump Village Thursday with my mom, helping her with some errands, right? That is a Russian community. And if I had $1 for every time the Russian community over there, they got some Ukrainians over there as well, the way they look at you, man, and I was having fun because I would turn my head real quick and just look at them, and you could just see the disdain, the body language, and everything that they had towards our energy, and it was just so disgusting, right? So that's a real thing. Somewhere along the line, these individuals have bought into a narrative, right, and a stereotype, and then when I walk into their proximity, they have that, and they relay it to me, and they let me know I'm not really welcome there. We'll be nice to you, but do what you got to do, and go on and get out of here. It didn't feel comfortable. So it's a real thing, man. Somebody is aligning themselves up in different silos, and we just have to call a thing a thing. But for some reason, we can't do anything positive for ourselves. We can't talk positive about ourselves. It's always got to be this derailing of us having any type of unity. And we just showed that people do have some pride. Let's leverage that shit.
I want to know, I can appreciate that, Robert, and thank you. I want to know the fucking question. Give me an example of what makes it so, give us an example of somehow black folks losing our identity or our pride in some way. How do we arrive at that conclusion? Can you give us an example?
Yeah, what's the metrics for you?
Is that question to me?
Yeah, you're the one that made the comment.
I didn't say we. If I misspoke, what I said, as long as we keep pride as a foundation, in which we speak on, even if you come from your view, anyone's pain, anyone's whatever they present, as long as there's that pride there, because a lot of other cultures, races, any way you want to look at it, they have a history that they can kind of build their foundation on that has some pride to it. When I'm in rooms and walking about in rooms, I do listen a lot to just see if there's any loss in that. I haven't seen any loss in it. We come at, we bring a lot of stuff to the table from all kinds of angles. I hear a lot of good in all of it. But I just want to put that out, is that always maintain that pride. And I heard someone speak about their pride for their family. And that's a good way to start. If you're saying pride from your family or your community or whatever it may be that you see that you have some pride in you. I would say if I heard, and I haven't heard anyone really coming at it saying that they have absolutely no pride in we as a people. That's why I asked it. So I wasn't saying that.
I see. Your question was rhetorical, is what you were saying.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, no, that was my misunderstanding too. I apologize. Okay,
no problem. That's what I was saying. As much as I've heard throughout, and from my journey from the early 60s all the way up, there was definitely a black and white. It was black and white. The pride was there. We knew who we were, what we wanted. And that's what was stood on. And maybe, after getting, sometimes you got to be careful what you ask for. It may just wind up, we're living some of it today. But that's in almost any system, anything that you kind of look at. You be careful, because what you experienced 20, 30 years later, yeah, maybe it didn't work out like you thought it would. But I still hear pride. I still do. And we have to keep that, because so many others have that. And my own concern is that if we start shaking that loose, the fist being put up, the march, the civil rights. And yes, there are a lot of others who ride on what we've, done in this country. I mean, let's be honest, the Civil War wouldn't be a whole different world if it wasn't for us being involved. A lot of wars wouldn't have turned out if it wasn't for our people being involved and engaged. If you go through a little bit, of military history. Some of the programs that were put in place that was starting to be a stepping stone from us was taken away from us. When you talk about the prison system, before, even if you go back, there were options to us when we got in trouble of joining the military. And when I was coming in, I came in 80, that system was still there. And people who, minor things were going into the military. Hey, get you straight. And they got a lot of us straight. As soon as they figured out that was really working for us, bingo, pulled it away, and now you go to jail.
I can agree with that metric.
Quinn, I want to ask you a question. I don't have an opinion on this, by the way. I just want to see what your thought was. Stop it, Jamal. Stop it. So in 1990, 17% of black college students went to HBCUs. Today, that's down to 9%. Is that good, bad, or neutral?
That is not a good metric.
That's terrible.
It's not a good metric at all.
That's a bad metric to use, though.
But there's also.
I'm not asking it as a metric. I'm just asking your opinion on it.
Well, I think it's obviously it's bad, but there's obviously reasons for that. It's not just obviously a simple lack of desire to do so. I think the college in general, for people in general, if we look at those metrics across the board, college, I won't say the admission, but college in terms of, the admissions in terms of college in general for people have gone down. I think that HBCUs are going in the same direction, but obviously, to answer your question directly, absolutely, it's not a good thing at all. But I think less people in general are going to college.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. So let me reframe the stat. Sorry, let me clarify the stat. But it's more people. This is of all black students who are going to college. 17% went to HBCUs and only 9% go now. That's what it's saying. It's not
Right,
talking
it's
about
not
like
black
populations.
But it's more enrolled now than in 1990.
I'm sorry, have either one of you gone to black colleges?
I think CEO went to
I live in North
No,
Carolina.
I was referring to the two people who were irrelevant, CEO.
Well, all I was trying to say was that we just got this triangle
why you being
here in the North Carolina area.
Because you're interrupting and you're annoying.
Apple is coming to North Carolina, and we've got 9 or 10 historically black colleges, and those are going to end up adding huge amounts of jobs for young black people coming and going out of those black colleges, straight out of North Carolina. And I'm really excited about it. So I think the future looks bright for young black people in the tech industry.
Well, it doesn't. Realistically, it does not. So, I mean, that sounds good.
I still I know. We shall.
Hey, stop singing, bro. Stop that shit.
I think there's a lot of...
But I think there's an overarching point that's more important than the nuances that we're focused on. In the last 50 years, black enrollment in higher education has increased by 125%. I want to repeat that. Black enrollment, the black pursuit of higher education, has increased by 125% over the last 50 years. And I think that's the focal point. More of us are pursuing a higher education, and therefore we have a different set of options when finished.
If I could add also some of the top HBCUs, I graduated from an HBCU and sent 2 daughters to HBCUs. And for whatever it's worth, several of the top HBCUs are welcoming in the largest classes in the history of those organizations. So though the percentage might tell a thing, sometimes we use these data stat points and we don't get into the depth of the issue. We're going to college, we're getting smarter, and that's not just good for black people, that's good for the world.
And my niece just got accepted to Winston-Salem State, man. Shout out to her.
Man, shout out to your niece. Shout out to your niece. But I will say this, and I want to pose this question to you guys. And I'm not above judgment, so y'all can judge me all you want. I'm open to that. I'm not going to hide behind the beam. Let me ask y'all this, right? My daughter had the option to go to several HBCUs on a full scholarship. And she also had the option to go to UCLA on a full scholarship. And I let her choose, but my choice would have been UCLA, and that's what she chose. She chose UCLA. What do y'all think of that?
I think that's a great.
She's from California. Let her stay at home.
That's great.
What were the other options, Gemini?
I forget the name of the schools. I don't want to get it wrong. I know they were HBUs. And they were out of state, and she didn't want to go out of state.
Well, then that makes sense.
She's in California.
I'm from Tuskegee. Y'all don't have no
HBCU out there, right, Cali? On the west side?
I don't think we do.
I think they got one.
They ain't got nothing like that on the west
To
side.
me, it wasn't even about the ethnicity. It was that UCLA has been the #1 public university for like the last 7-8 years. And the alumni network they have is amazing, and that was my focal point. However, she chose it on her own. I didn't push her to that. I let her choose because she worked hard to get to that point.
I like their alumni network. I'm going to Army University this year for their alumni network.
Yeah, I guess I'm fucking talking to myself. You know,
Hey, I'm sorry, bro. I'm Dave. I never got you to say anything. I was commenting on what Jim and I was saying about it.
Hey, Jamal, they got Charles Drew University in Los Angeles. That's an HBCU.
Charles Drew. When did they open that up? They just opened that up? That was just
That's old. That's old. But it's not a big school.
It's in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Wow.
It's not a big school.
Yeah, I know it ain't a lot of niggas out there. It's only 5% black.
Yeah, it's still 2 million though out there though, Jamal. Still 2 million.
2 mil? I guess. You can scatter 2 million black seeds over basically 5 states?
Jason, I know one of them was in Florida, and I think the other one was in Alabama.
Oh, I couldn't have FAMU. I went to FSU with Fairfield State.
You probably had one in the ASU or either Tuskegee, Alabama for sure.
I just want to say, man, I love black folks, man. I love y'all, man. I love y'all flaws and all. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I love y'all flaws.
So you an anchor baby? You want an anchor baby more?
No, I'm born here, born and raised here, bro. Come on.
I thought you was one of them niggas. One of them anchor baby niggas.
Well,
I like
sure
the
they don't
two
love
I
that.
like
I love
What's the definition of anchor baby? I need to know the definition of
Omar's an anchor
I'm an
baby.
anchor baby, bro.
What's an anchor baby? Like, what
That's
does that
one of these
mean
niggas said
exactly?
his mom,
Let's
his mom and dad ain't from here. He was
You
just
already Gemini, Father.
It's a person who runs the last leg of a 4x4.
There you go.
And it's the last person on the line in the fraternity.
I forgot Omar's a passport girl.
Beautiful way to keep the conversation. I love it.
That's cool.
And nigga baby drop rolling around with some kind of.
Y'all confuse the anchor and ankle. Maybe you mispronounced that.
What is it, ankle? Is it ankle? I thought it was anchor.
Anchor, bro. Anchor.
It is anchor. It's like it's obvious.
That's what I said. What the fuck?
Y'all should have just let that keep going. Ankle baby.
Y'all should let them be confused. You should let them be confused.
Yeah, it's ankle baby. You're right.
Yeah.
Is it ankle or
Yes,
ankle?
it's ankle.
I know
It's
exactly
ankle
what
baby.
ankle
It's ankle baby.
Yeah, crazy.
I know exactly what an anchor baby is. I like fucking with him just to see what he say.
No, you don't know what the fuck that is. I thought it was anchor, like a.
July, it is anchor.
You stupid motherfucker.
It's ankle.
That's what I thought.
Don't let them trick you. Don't let Gemini lie to you.
Jaguars, motherfucker.
Don't let Gemini lie to you.
It's ankle biters.
Yeah, he definitely an ankle biter.
Jamal, you know what, yo? You make me laugh, yo.
That's what I'm trying to do. Really, I'm
gonna give you an internet doc for that, yo. Yeah, he is.
He also likes to be naked on stage. Don't forget that.
Jamal is my internet doc. Got it, Jamal. I got you now. I ain't gonna fuck
Dap. Let me hold up. I gotta interrupt this interaction before y'all start rubbing penises. Look, would you ever be naked on stage? Dap? Would you ever do that?
No.
Your brother would.
Don't let him deceive you. Don't let him deceive you,
Oh,
brother.
now I just can't.
He's not deceived.
Don't lie about it. Go ahead now. Tell your truth. Go ahead, tell your truth.
Live in your truth, Jamal. Live in your truth, bro.
I don't got time for all this foolishness.
He's right now naked on his bed and you don't even know.
He's definitely naked right now.
I'm in my truck.
He's waiting to get
naked in this truck, Dan. He's naked in this truck right now.
I only got my shirt off. It's hot as fuck out here. It's hot. I'm in Georgia. I'm in Valdez. I do have. Everybody knows about my story. This is my story.
Listen, don't.
This is my song. What's the next verse?
Roll your eyes again. This is my story. This is my song.
Sounds way better.
Come on, sister.
Somebody's been in a
This
choir.
is my Savior.
Come on,
all
sister.
the day long.
Ay, shalala, mami.
Lord have mercy. We don't want to hear Jamal touching himself.
Savior all the day long.
Ay, shalala. Go ahead, sister. That's what I'm talking about.
Where's your cash? That's all we need. We need cash on.
Y'all turned the room about Anthony into a fucking 3-hour conversation with 150 people.
Oh, hush your fuss.
I love it. Let's give Gemini a hand. Let's give him a round of applause. He combed his way into a decent room tonight.
Aren't you a cool Gemini?
You can't even respond to ignorance because sometimes people get confused when you interact with ignorance like that, you know?
Hey, shout out to the music that our culture created. Shout out to the rhythm of us. Shout out to our vibration.
That's a fact.
Shout out to us, man. Shout out to us, to the black culture, man.
That's
Shout
right.
out to Harmony Grits, Biscuits, and Prime Whiting.
Hold on, let me ask y'all this because this is a key point and it's very near and dear to my heart. Do y'all put butter and sugar on your grits or salt and pepper? What do y'all put in your grits?
I don't eat them.
I like shrimp. I like shrimp in my grits.
talking about sugar though. He actually put sugar in your grits. Not if you make it right. I don't even like quick grits. I like hominy, old-fashioned grits. Like cook them fucking grits, man.
I'm not trying to judge anybody, but if you put anything other than sugar or sugar and butter, y'all weird as hell.
What?
Shrimp and grits is good as a motherfucker.
That's cream of wheat, Gemini. You put fucking sugar in your grits, nah.
Cream of wheat, you gotta add in evaporated milk too.
Yeah, nah, bro. Yeah, you ain't adding no motherfucking sugar to no grits.
I ain't had sugar on my grits since I was a child.
How y'all make
What's wrong with y'all?
You gonna put cheese in your grits, Gemini?
I used to like.
I've had that. I like that too. I like sugar butter.
They probably put sugar when you guys was kids, so you guys.
What's the one with the white dude on it? Oatmeal.
We know Mel had a lot
You never had egg Mel?
Yeah, I did.
How'd you have it? Like, what they put on it?
Not with sugar.
What y'all put?
What do you mean? It was just with salt.
Why? It's not eggs.
So, what you mean? That's why I tasted.
I didn't have crazy. Why would you?
And then when you start talking about cheese and shrimp, I don't know. I never ate.
I like that. That's good. That's
I didn't have grits. Give me a
My
second.
stomach is hurting.
I didn't have grits
I love
until I came to the
shrimp
U.S.
grits.
I didn't have grits until I came.
Yeah, that's bomb. That's bomb.
I don't speak. God damn it. So I didn't
I'll
have
try
grits
it.
I didn't have grits until I came to the U.S. Grits is the bomb though. So I like grits with shrimp.
I ain't grew up on grits. I grew up on cream of wheat.
Nigga, shut the fuck up.
You grew up on stove top.
That's with the black guy on the cover, right?
Nigga, shut the fuck up.
Hey, I grew up on anything they fucking gave me.
Can't be heard. So young, grits is banging with shrimp. Grits is banging with cheese. Not American cheese, like cheddar cheese and shit like that. Grits is good. Grits is good, but if you put butter and sugar in it, it really is cream of wheat though. It really is. But
Yeah.
I didn't have grits until I came to America. Cause you know where I'm from, eat porridge and shit like that. So and oats porridge, banana porridge, all types.
Yeah, I like porridge.
Yeah, grits is good though. I like grits.
Hey, Dad, you know what I grew up on, Dad? Hey, Dad.
You add some like the Cajun seasoning up in the grits when you cooking it.
Yeah, it's good. We cook it now though. Believe me, Jamaican cooking.
Yeah, hey, y'all know what I had? I had rice, butter, sugar, and milk. Did y'all come up on that? That's right.
Stove top, we know.
Yeah, you can eat that. You can eat that.
Yeah, rice, but I was a rice baby. Yeah.
But you know what I like? Rice and eggs. Rice and eggs.
Huh?
Yeah, that's
yeah, right. I think that was the Carolina thing.
Well, we didn't have meat. Yep, that's what we ate. Rice and eggs.
Rice and eggs, but that wasn't. I don't know if that was Carolina or not. I wasn't there in Carolina.
I don't know. I just call that poor people food.
Croquettes. How about croquettes? Salmon croquettes with the.
Yeah, we have Bell, rice, butter, sugar, and milk, man. Canned milk too.
I'm telling you, that's when we didn't have nothing to eat.
Salmon croquettes, y'all just, man, I need to go get me some. That shit was good. I need to order some.
You call it croquettes?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is culture. This is culture we're talking about. That's why I'm talking about it. That's
Give me your fritters. Listen to croquettes.
So I don't eat
piece of
grits.
foot
Doesn't mean
toss.
I'm not a part of the culture.
No.
You've never tried it, First Lady?
No.
I've tried it. I don't like it. Even as a
I
kid,
tried it
I never
too.
liked it.
I tried it.
I don't like the feeling.
Like fried chicken.
What don't you like? What she
I
said
don't like
you
the texture. I don't eat oatmeal. I don't eat.
Oh, you like my daughter. You a texture eater. See, I don't like that texture of that. I don't want that food next to this food because they're gonna mix because of the texture.
Yeah,
That's you?
That's crazy.
Do you eat
That's my daughter. That's my daughter all day.
eat yogurt?
It mixes in your stomach, so eat it.
Hey, Gemini.
And it mix coming out too. Go ahead. What you about to say?
I say some shit like that.
Yogurt is not a part of our culture.
But you're not Gemini, so stop trying to be him. Talking about I can't say this, I can't say that. All right then.
Hey, but no, I will say this. I like my wings. Now, how do you like your fried chicken?
I don't eat fried chicken.
Guess how I like
She's
my
a vegan. She's a vegan.
Vegetarian.
Or vegetarian.
Okay. Well, you know how I like mine, right? Y'all should.
What is the difference? Like, can somebody tell me the difference between
fried hard, but I like it naked. Nothing more.
That's why nobody, you notice nobody even asked. Like nobody even asked. We seen it coming.
Yeah, because we meat eaters.
Vegans, Gemini, answer your question. Vegans are ethical.
Vegans are ethical. What does that mean?
No, whatever. Vegans don't eat.
Sorry, I didn't finish my statement.
Along with the meat.
No, I didn't finish my statement. Sorry, I didn't finish
So
my
vegans
statement.
can eat fish and chicken?
Wait, so let me explain. The reason why vegans are vegans is because they don't believe animal abuse or products made from animals. So that includes byproducts of animals. So the difference is really philosophical. You're not eating non-meat because of health.
Can y'all bring White Anthony up? Because he changed his face to white because I think Sammy Sosa sent him cream. So if we could bring him on stage, he's all the way at the bottom. All the way. And oh my God, the cream works so fast. Anthony.
Oh, y'all wildin'. Y'all wildin'.
Put Anthony White instead of Anthony Edwards.
That's my brother.
Yo, is that me for real?
No, I don't think so, but you can see if he comes up.
He's been bleaching. He's gotten a good bleaching.
Hey, El Dorado.
And you know what? It kind of looks better on him.
Did y'all click on the photo? That shit looks crazy.
Yo, that's wild.
Sorry guys, can't come up. I'm in the little eating casserole.
Yeah, he's embracing the culture.
Raising mashed potatoes.
Yeah, he's embracing his culture.
Yeah, embracing the culture is crazy.
Why did Sammy Sosa do that? I don't understand why he did that.
And his name is at Blackity Black. Yo, he wildin'.
Jamal Simple, so fake, bro.
That's like crazy, man. That was almost horrifying to me to see him like that.
His smile, he looks better, bro. That's the sad part.
I think other Caribbeans like to do that. He's not the only one that has done that.
He's Cuban.
Caribbean. Yeah, from the Caribbean.
Just Caribbean? Seriously?
They're not doing that on the mainland. I don't know nobody from the mainland that'll do that other than my bro Ant. I don't know nobody that would do that.
When you say the mainland, what are you talking about?
I think
I'm talking about here on the continent in America. I don't think I know nobody that's ever done that.
Because it costs
I
money.
think Anthony White is point. That's just what I think. Anthony, come here, Anthony White. Show yourself.
Anthony White.
Anthony White is.
Anthony White.
So I just wanna say something earlier, a long time ago, but just been waiting. The comment about being coming from kings and queens, like we all come from kings and queens, and that's a mathematical, like that comes from math. When you go back 1,000 years, we're all descended from kings and queens. We're also all descended from the peasants as well. So it's just like, what kind of attitude do you want to bring to your?
If they made me choose between my face and my nuts, I had to go with my face.
What the fuck, bro?
If they was gonna whiten, if they like, yo, you never I can't go. I ain't gonna do my joints white like that. I'm not gonna whiten my joints.
There's an art form to saying an off-color comment where it's not awkward and weird. Like you don't know how to do it, bro.
Has anybody told you might have a problem, Jamal?
Look, I just was thinking, would I do my face or my scrotum white?
Who thinks about this scrotum being bleached?
You see what I'm saying, bro? What?
It's something
Hey, bro, look into the mind of a madman. But I would not let them do my scrotum. If they were going to do me, I just say, just do my face.
First lady, I'm not into the horror genre.
Hey, son.
I'm just thanking God he's not screaming anymore.
That's a fact.
Because I had to keep turning my phone down. And then when I turned the phone down, I couldn't hear you speak. So I had to turn it back up. It was driving me crazy.
I know. Actually, I just remembered I have mine turned down as well. So I just, because he don't understand how loud he is.
I got this trucker headset. I'm sorry. All right. I'll lower my voice down a couple.
Is that what it is?
He ain't no. When you get to talking, you sound like you seriously want some speed or some coke, and it's like.
No, I don't use drugs.
I don't think.
I just thought it was the sound from the truck that was making him yell. Because I was like, we can't hear it. You can hear it, but we can't hear it.
Y'all know that's Anthony's burner, right?
You think that's him?
Absolutely. Because
I think it's point.
He just used the word blackity black, and it says at blackity black. You don't see it right underneath black. Right underneath Anthony White, it says blackity black.
I've seen the at blackity black, but he says blackity black all the time, so somebody trolling would know to use that.
That's why I said I think.
Okay.
Point. You know, Point got a lot of burners, so Point probably went and changed it to that.
And they painted his face like perfect.
That shit is
around the eyes.
Yeah,
around the haircut.
Child.
Yo.
Who does he look like? He looks like somebody.
It's like powder.
Like he should have a sword. Zorro. He needs a sword or something like.
This is funny. Even got to the neck, Mel. Look at the neck.
Like an albino.
The neck is white.
Yo, around the mustache. Check out the mustache.
Even the mustache got a little bit of sprinkles on it. Like, what's going on?
Hey, Robbie. I see Robbie at the bottom. Hey, Robbie.
Hey, Robbie.
I know she's a very big person in Hollywood. She has a lot of work there, and she just lost her brother not too long ago. So,
deepest condolences.
Shout out to Dutch Jump. Shout out to all the women that do double Dutch. Shout out to y'all culture.
Hold on a second. Let that breathe. Thank you for the person that just gave one of my closest friends a shout to her and her family.
Oh, this is me. This is Quinn, man.
What's up, family?
It's good with it, man.
I know everybody don't know him, but Robbie is in the room. I'm going to actually put a link in the chat. Duran was a tremendous human being. Done a lot for many people. He was a quiet assassin in the background making moves in Hollywood, and he left behind 4 beautiful children. He's going to be memorialized like next weekend, and I'm going to put a link in the chat if anybody feels so inspired. Feel free to go to that link and support his 4 children.
Yeah, she left, Cole. I think
she probably didn't expect that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure she didn't. I have to apologize to her for that, man. I know she's still dealing with that, so.
Durant from Clubhouse?
Durant was her brother, yeah.
Duran Reed, famous casting director in Hollywood. He was a casting director and an actor. I don't think Duran's been in Clubhouse.
No, he is not. That he would never be.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
But no, he's just a prominent Hollywood figure that's done a lot for a lot of people to put their careers on, from Jada Pinkett on down.
Yeah, I have to apologize to her for that. I don't know if I should have done that, but I just wanted to shout her out because I saw her.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Those men with positive energy, I don't see how it could be negative about.
Yeah, but just timing, space. I think she's still very, very new.
Understood, respect.
It's kind that you were willing to hold space, though. Yeah, you came from a good space. I'm sure if she knows you, she knows it was coming from a good space. Well intended.
What's new on the news? Anything new, guys?
You knew, Mel. You knew.
I'm old.
New.
You're not old, you seasoned.
Okay.
Wait a minute. So Anthony White said, Omar, what's up, my brother? Patty P.
I wish she was here earlier. She done missed a crazy room.
Shout out to my captain.
No, she wouldn't have been able to deal with this.
Listen, man, Anthony gave y'all content.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That would not have been good. Patty P.
What up, Patty? What's up?
Patty in the building. What's up?
Congressman John wants to join.
Hey,
friend.
Patty, what you think about this week, man? The Trump administration they're having. Patty, talk to me.
Oh,
same thing I think about your mama that gave birth to you.
Hey, Patty.
Damn. Straight for the jet off the road.
This week, Patty. Come on, Patty. Don't dump me, Patty.
You got 30 days to talk about care right now.
Yo, real spit. Like, I don't think you be like this. To me, I know it's all in jest, but like this shit is not funny.
You got 30.
Like a lot of this shit is gonna have like some really tough repercussions for people's lives. Like, there's nothing fucking funny about any of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand how you.
Quinn, you
No,
You need to talk to the people that voted for this orange idiot.
But no matter how you meant it, like it just shows how oblivious you are to the realities of it. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's real people who are going to be hurt by this shit. Like, this shit is not funny.
Hey, but Quinn, you don't think bombing that nuclear facility, that's not a plus for humanity?
Why is it a plus for?
Are you serious?
Come on, Quinn.
Omar, do you understand that there was no nuclear equipment harmed? Do you understand that?
It's just an affirmation.
You understand that the uranium was already relocated prior to that, and they had knowledge of that? You understand that, Omar?
That's what some people are saying.
No. It's not some people. Do you understand there will be trace elements left that they will be able to detect that they destroyed uranium? You understand that?
All right, okay. Let's.
You understand it has a half-life that's detectable? You understand that?
Yeah, even the administration don't believe that they destroyed it.
What about the Rwandan condo deal? What about that?
This guy.
Let's hear from some. I'm gonna let somebody else say that.
Thank you to
Y'all know different than Anthony. I told y'all that.
Say thank you to Biden.
Y'all don't want to talk about black folks, though. Okay, y'all got it.
I want to hear from an intelligent person. Come in, Agent. Let me hear what you got to say, Agent.
Yeah, he wants to hear the Jamaican voice. We get it. You want to hear the Jamaican voice. You got it.
You support the Kagame regime? Why is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry, say that again?
No, you were talking about Rwanda, so I'm saying you support the Kagame regime?
Oh, absolutely. I've been there in 2009. You look at my PTR. I was in there in 2018. Of course, absolutely.
Finish eating your food, Omar.
Hey, you look at my PTR. I'm in the Rwandan streets. Still got a business over there.
Is that where the woman beat your ass and took your iPad and shit?
No, listen. No, come on, man. Don't play me like that. Come on.
Okay,
Hey, white woman, you gotta stay on me right on this one, bro. Listen, you look at my PTR. I was in Rwanda 2019. Still got a business over there. They love Kagame over there. Come on now.
It's just. I mean, what do you say? What do you say? Like, what can you say to someone with that frame of mind? Like, what can you say to them?
You just pray for him.
No, I don't even do that. Because fuck them, really. But like on the real, like in for the purposes of conversation, like how do you converse with people who are unserious to that level? How do you do it?
You don't, brother.
That's exactly
Hey, just say y'all don't care about the Congo or Rwanda. Just say it. I told you, motherfuckers are anti-black, man. Just say it. That's
What's wrong with you?
Yo, man.
I think it's the way people think, y'all. Like, he's saying that the Hotel Rwanda is, not Hotel Rwanda, but the deal, like, he feels as though it's going to be a good thing. Is that what you're saying,
It's
bro?
bringing peace. It's bringing peace. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what's the deal? Can you tell us about
Yeah, tell us the deal. How did the deal come up?
Y'all know he's not going to be able to do that, right? You do know he can't articulate that in any intelligent.
It's more nuanced, but listen.
Exactly.
And we get some of those minerals, right? The United States get some of those minerals. In return, hold on. In return, Rwanda, they're going to get protection, security. The Congo going to get security, and they can build infrastructure. Once you have security and it's no war, right? Now you can start building.
When did Trump start working on? When did we start working on this deal, sir?
Well, listen, the U.S. probably been involved for years on this. Let's be honest. It's not an overnight thing.
It's for all the credit. Why is he taking all the credit? If it's a joint effort, do you really know about that region? Do you really know what you're talking about?
Absolutely, I know about that region. I got stuff going on over there. Absolutely. Look at my PCR, boots on the ground, Robert. Come on, bro.
You got stuff going on in Rwanda.
You think I'm just talking, man? Come on, man.
No, I'm asking a question. I want you to break down to us what the conflict was about. Break this down to us. We're listening.
I'm not going through the whole history of Rwanda. Come on, bro. You don't want that right now.
Yeah, you don't have to go through the history of Rwanda. We know it's a unstable region. We know that. We know that they have children. We know that they have children soldiers in Rwanda, hence why the United States stopped funding their military, right? We know that.
I'm sure they got some stuff going on. I'm sure.
Yeah, they definitely. I'm not since you've been to Rwanda, right?
I'll also be there this fall. This October, I'll be there.
You should go. You should visit the outline.
Let us focus on this pending bill before the Senate. I want you guys to realize this is a man, our president, who wants it signed on July 4th merely for his show, so he can go through the whole independence spiel and all of that. Meanwhile, approximately 6 million people, I believe some numbers, are going to be cut off of benefit. And we're talking about people who are working. We're talking about working people who have supplemental income and need help just to make ends meet are going to be cut. That's medical, that's SNAP, etc., etc. Meanwhile, the richest of our country are going to receive a tax cut. So let me summarize this. You're going to cut from those at the bottom, and you're going to allow those at the top to eat more. That's what this bill represents. And you're talking about some Rwanda.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Robert. Does this bill help black people at all? Let me ask you that question.
It helps the rich ones.
Black people.
No. Does this bill help black people at all? I mean,
Bro, look, broaden your horizon, bro. This ain't about no merely black people, man. This is about our country, man. That's like a small, come on, man. Broaden your horizons, bro.
No, bro, does this bill help black people at all? Just answer the question, yes or no?
I don't even know how to...
Why are you worried about helping black people and you were
Okay.
You're one of the guys that want to get rid of USAID.
Okay, because a lot of black folks work overtime. That's why.
USAID.
Listen, Robert, a lot of black folks work overtime.
You wanted to get rid of PENFAR, and the continent of Africa has the highest number of cases of fucking AIDS, and you wanted to get rid of PENFAR, so you really don't care about helping black people.
Okay, that's cool. You got me on that one. But listen, a lot of black folks work overtime. Shout out to them, them CNAs, those nurses down at UPenn. Drexel University, shout out those black RNs and shit,
Well, let me
ask you,
man. Hold on, wait. Have you looked at that provision of the bill? And do you understand the thresholds that have to be reached in order for that to take place with regard to overtime? Have you looked at that?
Yeah, what's the threshold? I like this. Yeah, what is it? I looked at it.
Like blood diamond.
Bro, you gotta go.
Now, what about the thresholds? What about it?
Bro, there are caveats to everything.
No. I want you to explain the caveats that you don't like. Yeah, you brought up the grade.
When I read it, there are certain thresholds that have to be achieved. I'm not going to go pull it up, but I wanted to know, since you brought it up, since you asked about black people, we the only one. Bro, all Americans.
No, listen. First of all, we're Americans, so everybody's going to benefit. I asked you a specific question. Do black folks benefit from the no tax on tips?
Everyone is not going to benefit, sir.
It ain't about everyone. I said it is a larger number of black folks who work overtime. Shout out to all of them. you know, the real workers out there, essential workers, are they going to benefit?
Where are you getting these numbers from?
Come on, man. We got to be honest right
I'm
now.
not. You went to Pew. I'm just saying, when you make
Hey, Robert, do black folks work overtime?
Everybody works.
No. I'm asking you, do black folks? No. Don't try to all lives matter this conversation. Do black folks work overtime?
That's you. I think that's you.
All right, you got it, man.
Like, come on, man. Listen,
man. Listen. I don't like some stuff that Trump did, but god damn, you gotta give him credit on something. God damn.
Do you realize you're part of a cult? Do you realize that?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing I don't like what Trump did, right? I don't like when he renamed all them bases and stuff. There's a lot of stuff I disagree with Trump in. But I can give the man credit when the credit is due, bro. I'm not no cult like you are. You don't give a man no credit. He can give you $1 million. You would disagree.
I'm just trying to figure out why do you think that he deserves credit in general? First of all, he's completely inept. Secondly, he's not suited for the position that he is in any way, shape, or form. He appoints people who are not who are the same level of ineptitude. He is trying to systematically destroy the norms that we have in this country. Now, we can have a difference in opinion on what those things are specifically, but in general, he's just not good for this country and the things that he's doing in general. There may be segments of people who aren't intelligent enough to decipher that, you being included in that number. But to know what he's doing in general, I'll keep saying that, for this nation is not going in the right direction. Corrective is one thing. But in general, he is not good for this nation, and the things he's doing are crippling this nation. You just haven't seen. You have not seen what is happening in general. The end result hasn't come yet. So everything still appears to be fucking normal right now.
Mr.
That's fair.
Omar, I'll just ask. I mean, you're different in the sense some level, right? So my question is, how does it serve me to give him credit? I mean, what do I get from that?
What else? What credit? What do you mean? No,
I mean in general. I mean, I don't agree with him on most things. So why would I?
That was my point.
Lots of people who work for tips don't make enough money to actually file for a tax return. It could possibly help those who are high earners when it comes to tips. But also the overtime issue too. What will happen is people will stop getting overtime. That's how easy they fix that.
You're projecting now. You're projecting.
No,
that hasn't happened yet.
I'm not projecting anything. Lots of people who work for tips don't make enough money to file taxes.
I'm talking about overtime.
I'm not projecting on overtime either, because the American workers have for years now. Hold it. You've been talking. That's been happening. Workers not even getting 40 hours a week and having to take 2 and 3 jobs. Families having to have 2 wage earners working 2 jobs. That's been a thing for some time now. Overtime isn't a thing that everybody gets, especially not low wage earners.
Hey, April, I'm gonna ask you a question, right? How many black workers are employed by unions? How many? What percentage? What percentage of the union do they make up? Black workers that gets overtime.
Will you tell me? Do you know?
Well, it's a high percentage. Black people are overrepresented in unions. Overrepresented, right? So unions, you get overtime, right? So yes, that will affect black folks that work in unions and get overtime. Come on.
Who tries to bust unions? It's not Democrats.
Now you're changing the conversation.
No, I'm not changing it at all.
Come on.
You can't
Come on, y'all.
You're conflating.
Give a man some credit.
For what, Omar?
Come on.
Can I answer, please?
Hold on. In real time, I want you to go to something I'm about to paste. Okay, hold on 1 second.
I don't understand why you guys are trying to rationalize this. Make him answer the questions. He's the one that doesn't know.
No, they're making the claims, Quinn.
They're not making the claims. Why give credit to people who he's not good for the nation? Why give him credit for anything? He's fucking things up. What do you want to give him credit for?
To Trump?
No, I said the administration.
Sandra's trying to speak, guys.
That's what you said.
I'm saying the administration.
That is not what you said.
That's why I said y'all need
Team effort. I'm not no Trump stan. This is a team effort.
You kind of understand.
Guys, can we let Sandra get in there, please?
If she pay us,
Sandra, go.
she got 5 on it?
I got 5 on it. First lady.
Good.
At my UAW plant, there's over 3,000 people working. There's only 12% black people on those 3 shifts. So I don't know where you're getting your numbers from because they closed New City a long time ago. General Motors. They closed New City. We have a very large plant. I'm just saying that they closed Buick City, so and all the factories in Detroit are shut down right now. Because those were all EV plants in Detroit. So they're down because of Trump. And Buick City is gone. Flint is still working. I'm not sure how many black people are at Flint. Most of the people I know that work in Flint, truck and bus, are all white or Hispanic. But I'm sure there's some black. So I would give them at least the same amount at Flint as in Lansing. But it's not as many black people as it used to be. Thank you.
And can somebody please read what I posted in the chat? Because I can't. Can you? I just go through the last few comments, please, and break that down, please, because I don't have the energy. I really don't. But yeah,
I don't see it in the chat. Robert, what's going on?
Go to my name. Just scroll down. It's in there.
You mean scroll up? Scroll up.
Yeah, the deduction applies to non-exempt workers, meaning hourly or non-professional employees or those earning less than $35,000 annual as of 2019. It does not extend to.
You ain't saying there ain't no black professionals? Is that what you saying, Robert? Hold on, Robert. Is that what you saying?
Jesus, yo, you know.
Hold on, Robert. Clear it up. You're telling me there's no black folks in those positions?
What are you stuck on this black thing? We're going to talk about this bill and what the bill says.
Robert, you said less than 35,000?
Yes, in the chat, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! So that means that no, the union workers ain't gonna get none of that.
Thank you. This is the point that I'm saying. Like, so this dude is speaking, and he hasn't even looked at the details of everything.
Hey, Robert, what's the detail? Robert, I didn't see that detail.
Oh, wait, guys. It expires in 2028, right? Like, look at the details of this shit, homie. Like,
what's the detail you're saying, Robert? Can you repeat it? I'm sorry.
It's in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm moving around. Hold on. I'm gonna go through it. Okay, so firstly, the deduction applies to non-exempt workers, meaning hourly or non-professional employees or those earning less than $35,560 annually.
Is this a tip thing or what?
Yeah. This.
So you saying black folks ain't making less than 35,000? Are you saying this?
Yo, this regards overtime. That's what we're talking about right now. I didn't dig into the tips yet, but I'm looking at the provision. This means while workers might see a reduction in their federal income tax liability, their total tax burden, including payroll taxes, will not be completely eliminated for overtime earnings. You gotta read the details, guys. Like, come on, man. This cat is talking.
They said 4 million workers, I'm reading now, 4 million workers will be affected by the beautiful bill.
Only
4 million workers, Robert. I don't know where you got that 30,000 from. 4 million. Million. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything about those numbers. Maybe you think somebody else said that. I was talking about the threshold in terms of income. Do you think
that, Robert, 4 million people
I have a serious question. So do you think that somebody that's making less than $60,000 a year, let's just say 60, I'm going to go at 60, $60,000 a year benefits more by receiving extra measly $100 on their check versus infrastructure and social programs?
Listen, to me, a measly $100 ain't, listen, if it was me at my pay rate, I would say put it in infrastructure. But I understand that lady down the street, she may need that extra $100. You know, that grandmother, that uncle down the street, they may need that, Patty.
You're being disingenuous.
No, I would rather put the person in infrastructure. But I know some people may need that.
You're being disingenuous.
She asked me the question. I'm being honest.
I'm talking about the overall benefit. What do you think? Do you think this is a benefit?
Listen, man, people out here struggling, Patty. I don't know if you're aware or not, but people out here doing bad, man. You know what I mean? They need that extra $100.
Omar, you gonna take the pills when they give them out?
Listen, I don't need it personally, Robert. I'm good. I'm just saying, I know people that they need it, though.
It's the provision in the bill that says that people can cyanide like Trump. You gonna take your cyanide pill?
Absolutely not.
They're gonna need more than that $100, right? So a lot of these people that don't make that much, if you read that bill, right, even talking about some of these social programs, say for example, you know how some of these states, or you know that they're gonna say that their income is like, you know how they pay for your daycare? The state to pay for your daycare so they can get your ass up off your feet and you can get a job, because daycare is fucking hella expensive. So you know that that's going to be incorporated as income. So some people are not going to be able to get that free daycare. They're not going to have access to food benefits. Like, it's a lot. This stuff is like crazy that y'all think that cutting taxes like this is great for the American people.
Patty, Omar understands this fundamentally. He's being, first of all, he's being obtuse here. He understands that $100 is not going to do much for someone's long-term life versus social programs like the one you were just describing that's going to help them with their everyday lives. So he understands this. He's being obtuse for the purposes of conversation. He understands this, and he will continue to do this even despite what I'm talking about, right? He will still say the same thing. He knows what you're talking about. He's being an asshole for the purpose of the conversation.
No, but that's not true, Quinn. That's not true.
Stop being a dickhead.
No, I just realized some people are struggling out there, man. I'm trying to...
You don't care about the people that are struggling. Stop. Cut it out.
Hey, Mel, do you know anybody that can use $100 right now, Cash App?
Yes.
Why y'all keep saying $100? What is a $100 thing?
No, listen. I want somebody in the goo right now. The first person that put their Cash App in, I'm gonna give it to them right now. Cash App.
This is ridiculous.
$100.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, this is not serious. Like, this is all.
It's not in the first person in the Cash App.
Let them blast somebody with $100. Let them do it. But what does $100 represent? What?
Don't stay quiet now, Omar.
The tax on the tip. I mean, the tax on the overtime. What they would have taken out for their check for overtime.
That's just a random number he made about a clear blue sky.
No, that's just a random number I gave.
The bill will not.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because you remember, somebody said during the election, they was like, I like the extra $35 I was getting on each of my paychecks. I was like, huh? The fuck you doing with $35? You worried about $35, but the Department of Education is suffering.
Great.
In each state, or you worried about $35 and there's fucking hungry people.
Can't make this up.
Somebody came on stage and said that dumbass shit. I upped the ante and said 100.
Oh, I thought that was what's his name, Omar, that used that number 100. I thought I heard him say that.
No, I just upped the ante.
What you say?
But somebody said $35 out of their check. I got an extra $35.
I don't see the Cash App. Where the Cash App at? Oh, nobody needs $100 in here?
There's a Cash App in there. Go and bless that.
Yeah, I'll send it tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock.
Don't act like you don't see that shit now.
Patty, I'm just blown away. If that's true, that they have to make less than $35,000 a year, because all them crazy ass mad hats that turned against the union and voted for Trump, thinking that they was gonna not get taxed on tips. Because I mean, we work. I'm so glad I left. They normally work 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week.
Yeah,
Hey, Kanan, did you get that? Did you get that, Kanan? Did you get that? Did you get?
Damn, I was not talking, really? So they are gonna be so pissed because you know they don't read.
Bro,
So
appreciate that, bro. Appreciate, bro. I got pulled over by the Columbus State Police this morning. They only
You
let
all
me
here?
go.
You're welcome, brother. You're welcome, brother, man. You're welcome.
Say
Come
on
on,
me.
man. Anybody can use $100. Come on, y'all. But you're welcome, brother.
Appreciate you, brother. You continue, man. I'm sorry for interrupting you, man. Go ahead.
it's okay. That was nice though.
Alondra, don't you say it's gonna affect them. Omar will not listen to you. He won't listen to
I'm not talking to Omar. I'm just talking out loud because they're gonna flip out when they find out that they're not gonna get the. Oh my God, they're gonna lose their minds.
Right.
That is correct. That is correct. Idiots.
I'm here for it, but the problem is we all have to suffer alongside their idiot ass.
Yep. Look, Mr. Trump is a clear and present danger to our country. Simple as that. And I've been saying it. And y'all been noticing. I know some of y'all noticed that. We just can't. Every fucking time, it's just more and more and more and more and more. So, yeah, he's not going to stop. He will go. It's like a disease. A disease will like devour its host until the host is no longer alive.
I think what's more scary than the ruling in regards to birthright citizenship is the implications of that ruling.
Yep.
Right? It is a lot, like everybody's hyper-focused on the fact that, oh, you know what, he's going to attack birthright citizenship and this and that, which is a big deal, right? But there's a bigger deal, and that is the Supreme Court basically saying that we cannot limit the powers of his executive orders.
That's correct. A federal...
That is giving more power to the executive branch and taking it out of the judge's hands. And that's scary because if you look at the makeup of the Supreme Court currently, he appointed 3 of them who are widely considered unqualified, by the way. And then the other 3 were appointed under, was it Bush? I think it's Bush.
Yes.
So we have a predominantly, I'm gonna land real quick, but we have a predominantly Republican fucking Supreme Court that's now ruling in his favor, and half of them are unqualified, and they're limiting what people are able to do as far as limiting his executive orders, and he's written more executive orders in the first half of his presidency, in the first half year of his presidency, than most have wrote in the entire 4 years when they were president. Are you?
And that's how he's
never
still
meant
going.
to.
He doesn't even.
Oh, sorry. He
No,
never
sorry.
meant to govern. He never meant to govern because Republicans don't govern. When's the last time they passed any fucking piece of legislation that had anything to do with helping anybody but their cronies and their donors? I haven't seen it out. Somebody have to knock my memory loose because Republicans don't govern. Trump had no plans to govern. He only wants to be a dictator, and the House, okay, who has to do the bills and kick them up to the Senate, they are in his pocket. There'll be no governing. There'll only be the EOs, executive orders, and whatever he wants the House to pass through. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Trump supporters continually cry about immigration, and yet the bill to help fix immigration, that he said, no, don't do it because I need to politic on that. I need to have that in my campaign so I can say what Joe and Kamala didn't do. Where is that now? What are Republicans doing now on immigration other than having eyes around people up that even Americans and people who haven't had any criminal record here? Where's MS-13? How many of them have been deported? Y'all don't know. You have no clue.
So, Gemini, when you have a challenge, I think it's also interesting to take a look at what the opportunity is. And one of the opportunities is to get some of these things to the Supreme Court faster, because if you have 2 different district rulings that are opposite of each other, then you have inconsistent law, and that expedites the process of getting something to the Supreme Court. So if it's strategized correctly, this ruling could actually work against Trump.
But then think
But
about
wasn't this ruling about national injunction? So if one judge from the lower court does a national injunction, how is another judge overturning that?
No, so it allows you to, you can now essentially venue shop, right? So like the rulings now basically say that it's only relevant, the ruling only applies to the district.
100%. So 100%. So now that means if I'm in the state of fucking California and they say it's illegal here, then I can go to Texas where it's legal.
So you basically, what you want to do is you want to have two districts rule opposite. So one say it's legal, one say it's not legal, right? The moment that happens, it has to be expedited to the Supreme Court because now the law is inconsistent.
And then they're saying,
you understand what I'm saying?
Case, but so one thing Amy asked during the arguments, the oral arguments, she said something about how do you do it case by case? Because now you got to name every plaintiff that's in the case. You understand what I'm saying? So for something to be like, say you do some type of injunction, every plaintiff that's in that case may be covered, but everyone else will not. You listen to the oral arguments. Amy had some really good talking points. So did Jackson, and I think Sotomayor. So I'm telling you, as well as Keegan, it was the females. The females was going hard in the fucking paint. They were asking the right questions. Like, and if you listen to a lot of the questions they asked during the oral arguments, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, this is what can happen. Like, if let's say it was Roe versus Wade all over again, right? Every person.
You cutting out, Patty.
You're in the matrix, Patty.
Yeah, Patty, are you there?
I think she just
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you listen to the oral arguments, they have some really good talking points on why this doesn't make sense. I don't understand why Amy voted with them, or did she not? I need to look at who voted with what. But she had some really good talking points.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you were getting into like Roe versus Wade again. So I think
not Roe versus Wade. It was about this particular Supreme Court case.
Oh, but I thought you were using that example.
Yeah, I'm just talking about any case, right? So anything that goes before the Supreme Court is only going to apply to whoever is mentioned in that actual in that brief.
Yeah, but so essentially two district courts can now rule differently on the exact same federal issue, right? So when this happens, this creates a crisis and you can expedite to the Supreme Court. So I'm just saying that, like, if you strategize this correctly, you can actually get things to the Supreme Court faster.
Back to what I was initially saying, I guess we gotta wait 30 days to see what the if they counter this, right?
Hey, to be honest about that birthright stuff, that kind of surprised me. You know what I mean? I thought because I listened to the opening arguments, I thought, man, Trump's team got crushed. I thought their lawyers was incompetent. But
they weren't talking about the actual amendment.
Yeah, I know that too, Patty. I know that too. Yeah.
Application. They were talking about application of lower courts doing nationwide injunctions.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know that.
They're not gonna look. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think don't think. I hope they're not that stupid, but I don't think anybody's gonna try. I don't think he's gonna bring to court the act and shit. They're piecemealing this shit, right?
I don't think he is either.
Soft power.
It's about the injunctions, about if the lower courts can put an injunction or stay against an executive order. I think that's the.
Yeah, but Gemini. One thing about white supremacy is slow. You know, it ain't about this overnight thing. It's a slow process. And the Heritage Foundation and all those groups there, all those different groups, America's First Policy, they want birthright citizenship gone. You know, it's going to be a slow process, though. I don't agree with it. Me personally, that's not my big thing. I voted for. You know, that's not on my agenda. But you know, it's a slow process.
You guys do understand what this is about, right? What this bill allows now, or rather, with this recent ruling, we will no longer see. It prevents the bad imagery of parents being separated from their children. So to those that arrived in this country recently, first generation, the children that resulted while they were here are no longer U.S. citizens. They can be deemed not U.S. citizens.
How?
On the train, but that's what the rule says. That's what the ruling says. Look at that.
That's pseudo, Robert. That's pseudo. Right
No, that's not.
No.
That's 125th Street Harlem Babel right there, bro.
Okay. Well, this is someone who doesn't do research, so you wouldn't know anyway. So the point is that, for example,
you're wrong, Robert. You're wrong.
Oh, okay, just prove me wrong, sir. Just put it in the chat, please. I welcome your research. All right, and so that's where this is going, because these images of them being separated from the children being left here, and the children and the parents being shipped out, it was bad PR for the administration. Now they can just move the whole damn family.
No.
Is anybody following the fact that Project 2025 is almost 50% complete, and we're 50% through the year?
Oh yeah.
They move slow, Gemini.
Right, that's why I'm bringing it. You said you already seen where I was going with it. So, like, and this was one of the key components. Ending birthright citizenship was part of Project 2025, even though he claimed to have no knowledge of it. Isn't it funny how it's being implemented without him being aware of it at all? But he's just subconsciously following that blueprint.
Yeah, this is saying that people born on this soil are not necessarily deemed Americans, guys. That's what this is saying. Like, y'all better. I don't think people realize that.
No, we get that. I was just saying that there's a bigger point that they're stopping the lower courts, even though they're giving them another 30 days, I think, to respond or refute their ruling in regards to their initial injunction. It's just showing that they're taking the power away from the judicial branch and consolidating it with the executive branch by this ruling, if it stands.
But I suggest everybody read the American First Policy. Forget Project 25. Project 25 has a lot of fluff, right?
Don't forget it. It's been implemented.
I agree.
America First Policy is a lot of fluff. Project 2025 actually has mandates.
No, listen, what I'm saying is the America First Policy gives you the walk. You know, it's going to dog walk you through everything, and everything is playing out. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
No, so America First is actually a PowerPoint presentation with a lot of fluff. Project 2025 actually has mandates. It's a fucking think tank. These guys have put a lot of shit together. They've worked with lawyers. Like, come on, man.
I put it in the chat, man. Look it up, man. I'm telling you, read it. Read up on it.
People don't even know what a think tank is. I promise you, they don't. Think tank
no, listen. Project 25 is a good talking point. You know, people know that was the first thing that came up. But they go.
It's not a talking point. It's not a talking point. It's being implemented. Hold up. In Project 2025, they talked about banning DEI. Right? They talked about mass deportation. They talked about ending birthright citizenship. Right? They're talking about defunding federal agencies like the Department of Education, right? So you don't see that being implemented in real time?
Hold on, I'm gonna put it in hip hop terms for you, right?
I don't need it to put it in hip hop. That's my question. Ain't nobody stupid over here. I don't need you to hip hop it for me.
Listen.
Racist shit to
say. Hold on. Project 25 is like the blueprint, right? Whereas America First is reasonable doubt for y'all Jay-Z fans. You know what I mean? It's giving you the 25.
We don't know what you mean. We don't know what you're saying. I don't speak hip hop. I don't speak hip hop. Can you articulate yourself in clear, concise terms?
And I'm a hip hop nigga.
Okay, I'm not a hip hop nigga, so can you speak to me like an educated person?
Nigga, man, I live this shit.
I'm not a hip hop nigga. Can you speak to me like an educated person?
No, but I'm just trying to break it down.
Articulate yourself in an educated manner, please. I don't do hip hop.
Listen, I'm trying to put get y'all game right now.
I don't need game. I need information that's factually based.
America First is the policy that the Trump administration is going by. That's all I'm saying, brother. That's the walk. It's walking you through. It's reasonable doubt. It's illmatic.
Thanks for that game, I guess.
And now you make me wonder if you really know hip hop. Sorry.
I actually love hip hop, but don't talk to me like an idiot. Like, I'm playing hip hop to Jay-Z said hippity hop. Fuck out of here.
I'm just saying, Jim.
I went to his link, and I'm just going to go through these pillars. Pillar 1, make the greatest economy in the world work for all Americans. Huh? Pillar 2, put patients and doctors back in charge of healthcare. Huh? See, I guarantee if you go through and read these pillars, it's the same thing in Project 2025. Pillar 3, restore America's historic commitment to freedom, equality, and self-governance. Pillar, what the hell was it, 4? Give parents more control of the education of their children. Pillar 5, secure the border, end human trafficking, and defeat drug cartels. This mofo with this,
Read the issues.
Hey.
April, come on, tell me he's not doing that exactly.
April, read the...
Hey, hush.
One mic on April.
Hush.
Yeah.
We have human trafficking being advanced with these fake ICE agents. And you can see it because people get together in groups and run them off. You wouldn't be able to run off with federal agents. Your ass would not be able to do it. These are fake people or people who've been deputized to get out here and harass and traffic other people. You want to tell me, oh, please, they so concerned about trafficking, they've made it even more possible for human traffickers to get out here and pretend that they're ICE agents and scoop people up. So don't tell me none of this pillar shit. We already know they're halfway through Project 2025. Okay? This pillar shit is going to be exactly what Project 2025 is. I'm going to do it.
It's commercial project.
But it is. No, you want the commercial. Hippity hop and head. You want the commercial. That's what you want.
Nobody in those circles mentioned Project 25 Patrol. Outsiders. I'm trying to get y'all game.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to get y'all real game.
Carolina 11 had a lot to do with Project 2025.
Y'all too smart.
His own press secretary has stuff to do with Project 2025.
Y'all stuck. Y'all don't want
You ain't got no damn
information you got.
Omar, it's the opposite. I mean, the reason why they don't talk about 2025 because they know it's not popular. They give you the fluff, they give you the sales presentation, but the contract, the details, what is actually happening is Project 2025, and that's the shit that they know that you won't read.
No, that was the fluff, agent.
Who just said that?
Y'all got it. Y'all know it all. Y'all got it.
Who was that info? Was that Agent?
Yeah.
Agent, you are exact. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Exactly.
Robert, you gotta hop.
So I got some spending cuts that they announced in the big beautiful bill also for farming. It cuts $294 billion from SNAP, EBT, stripping food aid from millions while hurting farmers who lose $70 billion in food sales. Slashes nutrition assistance for seniors, kids in rural communities who depend on SNAP to put food on the table. As $2.4 trillion, forcing future cuts to USDA conservation and support programs. It's really fucking ridiculous what they're suggesting.
So Gemini,
I'm sorry, 2.4 trillion to the national debt. That's what I wanted to say.
So Gemini, I know you're a businessman, so I'm gonna put you in terms you'll understand for this. I think this fits it perfectly. I mean, so America First is the PowerPoint, the sales presentation. Project 2025 is the white paper.
I disagree.
That makes a lot of sense.
I disagree.
What do you disagree with?
Because remember, generally, a white paper is what? 2, 3, maybe 3 pages, 4 pages, maybe, right? Project 25 is like a fucking 200. They just throwing shit out there.
Nah, white paper can't be
200
any feasible amount.
You know you didn't read it.
No, what I'm saying is Project
But what you don't have is a 200-point presentation. Right? That's what you cannot have. You can have a 20-page white paper if you like, if it makes sense.
What I'm saying is America First is a complex thing, right? But it's broken down so every individual can see it. Nobody generally is going to read Project 25, right? Nobody's going to read that shit. There's so much going on. It's like a freestyle.
You can
I compare Project 25 like a freestyle. You know what I mean?
Omar, we
I still understand what he said. Your white papers are
most of the people on the stage that's not read Project 25.
We got it together. What are you talking about?
I said most people haven't. Come on.
I used to listen to it at work. I listened to it in my car.
Exactly.
Yeah, but America
And we
First,
talked about it for over a month.
America First, you like this. Project 25 is the rough draft. America First is what they're implementing, and I'm trying to put you on.
I'm telling you, the major points of Project 2025 is about 50% complete.
What's the 50%, Gemini? Go ahead.
It sure is.
Better earlier, 1 second.
What's the 50%?
Man, when the fuck are you gonna listen and talk about?
I literally said this earlier. You realize that, right? The first.
Man, y'all got all
Omar, man.
I literally already said this. That's how I don't want to repeat myself. Everybody else I literally said this.
Omar, your friend Anthony White's not even coming out to
Y'all got all
help
the
you.
answers, though. Y'all got all the answers. Y'all got answers.
He's not going to listen
Somebody
to you
gotta
anyway.
have it. Yeah, somebody gotta have the answers.
And listen, if y'all better not let my man win in New York City, it's really going to be overfilled in 2028. I'm talking about it's a wrap.
Who's your man?
Yeah, man, what's his name? Madami? Whatever his name is. Madami?
You don't even know your man's name?
My man is in New York City. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for the damn Democrats. A wrap.
Apu, what the fuck's his name?
Why Omar? Why would it be a rap?
Man, you know how much like that Mandami nominee is like revving up the other side, the opposition. I mean, they're winning that easy on a cultural war level. Easy on a cultural
Omar is right about this. Omar is correct about this. If Mamdani wins, the turnout. The turnout, if Mamdani wins, the turnout for 2026 midterms is going to be way higher than it otherwise would be. That is true.
Wait, but Omar, you did not see his rap video? Lupita was in his rap video.
Yeah, but that was optics though. Come on.
No, but you said you're talking rap or hip hop, so I wanted to talk back.
Yeah, but it gotta be authentic. It gotta be authentic. Come on, ain't no New Yorker bumping that Scotty. Come on, Hey, Scotty, if anybody knows New York culture is Scotty, ain't no New Yorkers ain't bumping that.
I don't know, brought out a lot of young people.
He wasn't doing it to start a career.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree.
I'm just really curious. Were you being serious, Omar, when you said you don't see Project 2025 being implemented? Are you serious right now?
No, that's not what I saw.
Are you telling me his executive orders don't align with it for the most part, the majority?
Yeah, you're gonna find some stuff in there, but what I'm saying is the project you should be worried about is America First. That's all I'm saying. That's the one he's factually following. I would say Project 25, like I said, that's more like the commercial side of everybody talking about clickbait. But he's really doing America First project.
Yeah, this is bullshit. So, CEO, I want to know what makes you think that won't happen on the other side of the aisle, too? So and people get so hyper-focused on what's going to be, and maybe I'm misinterpreting what you're saying, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But what makes you think that his win won't turn out more Democrats?
Well, I'm assuming the left is already going to be super motivated for 2026. So I can't imagine how much more juice you're going to squeeze out of that orange. Whereas the right, I think, be a little bit content. But you have Mamdani win,
then I think that will end up increasing the right turnout a lot more than it otherwise would be.
Well, what's the theory behind that? Why would
Yeah,
that?
I mean, you
Because
in New York.
Because my body, I'm seeing all the conversations on this. So, I'm sorry. So the whole defund the police, the socialism feel, the taxing white neighborhoods more, all this and that. A lot of the stuff he says, it really will rile.
Okay, I mean, but it's also going to rile up people on the other side of the aisle too.
Yeah, but they're already motivated, though. Right? They're already.
But I mean, so following that theory, the same thing could happen during the time when we thought that mail-in voting was going to disproportionately benefit Democrats, and that did not turn out more Republicans. He actually told them to stay home.
Okay, so let me say it like this. Let's just say the excitement. But let me try to make it measurable though. Let's say the excitement level on the left is 90%, and on the right it's 75%. Okay, so you can make the left more excited, but you only got 10 more points to go. Okay, whereas on the right you got more room to grow because the excitement level ain't as high. So that's my point.
I don't agree with that theory, brother. I don't see how that, I mean, the bottom line, the numbers are the numbers. But I mean, I understand that you think that it may motivate more Republicans to get out in retaliation. But I don't think I think you're underestimating what happens on the other side. And typically, I guess when we're talking about numbers and turnouts, they have to discourage people from going to vote, via voter suppression. Because they're afraid that if more people vote, they're going to lose, and that's typically how it's been.
Well, yeah, there's not gonna be a lot of ability to do that, though, right? Because Trump will motivate the other side to come out after all that happened, right? So that motivation's gonna be there already. Okay. So I'm just debating with you over how much more room. You're already extra motivated, so how much extra motivation can you put on top of extra motivation?
Those rural whites that are going to be affected by these cuts to these benefits, those rural whites are really going to feel it. So they're going to be voting against Trump more than likely.
No, I don't agree with that. I think they'll stay home if anything.
Can I back in here? I didn't hear the part, CEO, about him taxing white neighborhoods. Did I get that right?
Yes,
and also
correct.
He said okay, I don't know how that happens, but he also said that he doesn't want to defund the police, like he's mentioned that. So, but I don't know, how do you tax the white neighborhoods?
But he said it multiple times. He said it multiple times.
But that's not his stance now. I think if anything.
But he said it recently. He said it last year.
Defund the police. He doesn't want to. No, but he's campaigning now. He's running for mayor. He doesn't want to defund the police.
He was running for mayor last year.
No, was he? I don't remember that. I mean, he doesn't want to defund the police. He said it, multiple times in this campaign. And I don't know how you tax white neighborhoods. I'm not sure how you go about that since the state.
Yeah. So here I'm just gonna.
I'm reading it now.
I'm giving you the link right now. It's a New York Post.
Yeah, the Guardian
in the chat.
Says he's going to shift property tax burdens away from low-income, diverse outer boroughs towards wealthier, predominantly white neighborhoods like parts of Brooklyn and Manhattan. The plan aims to remove outdated assessment caps, recalibrate effective rates so that high-value homes in affluent areas pay more while lower-income communities pay less.
Yeah, the Jewish community in New York is not having it. I can guarantee you that they're going to come together like Voltron. I promise you. Yeah, New York is, yeah. A lot of people, you got to realize a lot of independents couldn't vote in this in the primary. So, yeah. At this time in history, the only person that New Yorkers feel confident about in light of the administration that's now in power, it would have to be either Adams, because he's, right? And then Cuomo. Cuomo got the balls to stand up to a Trump. So, but this new guy, he's not built for what we need in New York right now. He's just not built for it.
out Kathak because it looks like he's gonna win.
What are you basing that on?
What you mean? Just what I hear from people from New York.
Yeah, but Cuomo campaign has been lackluster. It's a long time till November, and if you have,
I know.
And if you have Cuomo, Adams, and Sliwa all kind of ganging up to beat this guy down and go after him, that's going to be an issue for him. He's going to take incoming from everywhere. And I suspect that, like, if Cuomo recognizes he doesn't have a chance to win in, like, October, he'll probably drop.
Yeah, it's going to be those three candidates because Cuomo's still on deck. Definitely. It's going to be, I think it might be the first time in history that we've had three independent candidates.
I'm going to say Cuomo and Adams will split the votes.
Yeah, but you know what? New York does need a centrist Democrat, not a extreme left, to be honest.
That rap video is crazy as hell about Scotty. It's like that. It's reasons like that I'll never run for any office.
Yeah, I just don't know if you can do that. I'm reading the link, so I appreciate you posting it.
Scotty, you read the message in the chat?
Oh, no, I don't know.
The only way is if Cuomo makes behind-the-scenes deals with the Hasidic community.
Okay, well, that's not my community, and Jews are not a monolith, which is why many of them are supporting.
I'm talking to you because you're the damn New Yorker on stage, puñeta.
Okay.
Cut it out.
That was for everybody.
Scotty Plus, okay.
I mean, Borough Park did vote 80% for Adams, which does show you something.
Yeah, he got the Hebrew community on deck. Definitely.
He's got the Hasidic Orthodox community.
Yep. He definitely has them.
So that means Cuomo got the Jews and the Christians?
I think they're split there. I think him and Adams, I think they're about even on the support from those two groups.
Yeah, Adams is a...
I got to do business with that man. I need him in the office for another 4 years. I ain't even going to front. I got a project.
Robert, I said the same thing to them.
I may not like how he handled himself.
But it is what it is. If he ain't there, then it is what it is.
Got an $81 million project. I need this funded, for real.
Well, I think I said a long time ago in this room that if Mamdani wins, the path for Adams is more clear. And look what's happening. But I'll mute up. I don't know anything.
Hey, Patty.
What's up?
I was live on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm feeling disenfranchised now with all you plus people on stage.
Yeah, fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the average? I was just talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7 to 5 here. No, I was just talking about y'all crazy people on Clubhouse.
How'd it go?
Not talking about us on TikTok.
Yeah, what? That was only the beginning, but no, I just.
I'll have to change my name on TikTok.
Did you start getting some big surprises?
So I don't know how to read this. I mean, I haven't gone live in a long time, so I don't know what that means.
Just be like share, tap, gift. Like
yeah, you don't have to show me all that. I don't know what I mean. I seen stuff coming through. They were saying
Hit the heart button.
Raise your goal and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You guys put what your goal is on there so that people can try to help you meet your goal.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, it was fun. It was good. You can teach me more. Yeah. And agent is only $4.99. You want me to cash app you $5?
Right.
Well, I have to make a decision between my kids and Clubhouse Plus.
Hey, boy, bye. You ain't got. Okay, whatever. All right. So what's happening?
I don't know, but Omar finally left. Whew, that was a long time with Omar.
Oh, look at El May talking about Black Share Cash App. What's going on, El May?
I hate when I'm in the room like for background, right? And there's some
Ice cream.
Oh yeah, that right. I hate when that happens, man.
Mr. Softy.
Yeah. Oh shit, I'm running out.
Oh my God, I miss Mr. Softy.
Yo, I had to shave my freaking beard today. I'm so mad.
Oh no, why?
The one in Queens used to sell weed too.
I was shaving. I was fixing it up and I zeked myself, so I had to cut the whole shit off.
Oh no.
It looks crazy. I like that.
For you guys, it's weird. It like always has to end. Like, yeah, we're gonna remove you from the room. Oh my fucking! Do you mean you had the fucking temerity to question me about removing that fucking dickhead Andre, and you just randomly removed my friend Piper from the room multiple times?
I did it once.
Do you have no shame?
I did it once.
Regardless, and also you've done it
I
to
thought it
other
was
people.
twice.
You did it, but you did it to someone else as well. No, you did it to someone else as well. Sasha.
Oh yeah, well Sasha was in me, and so those Sasha was and then I
No, she wasn't. She told me she was joking about fucking you losing a debate or something.
I apologize to Sasha. I didn't apologize to Piper because if it was up to me, Piper would just never be in my rooms, and I only keep Piper in these rooms because you guys like Piper. But you know, it is what I mean. Whatever.
Because we really need Andre in God Talk. You fucking little moralizing.
Oh yeah,
trap.
would I rather someone
fucking there
sometimes tells you something about liberal Christianity, or someone who just like yells angrily about communism?
This is the only time I ever heard him speak was like, yeah, you're a narcissist. Like, I've never heard of fucking liberal.
Sometimes you hear stuff about you. It's like your ears are silent, and then your name comes up, your ears are.
Can we just all agree that concrete should be kicked out of all these rooms?
Yeah,
and that's it?
yeah, bro.
We can just all agree on that.
Imagine that's your chaplain as well. You're like in the hospital or whatever. Like, you know, you get the fucking fatal prognosis, and like, well, you are a bit of a narcissist. Maybe you should work on that if you want to go to heaven. Like, fuck you. Fucking hate. I think he's not the hater as a priest.
He's not wrong, though.
Bitch, of course he's not wrong. That's the point.
Yeah.
No, but but me and Piper had like a little hammer and tongs thing the other day.
On what?
It's like,
I could have been there.
Iran, like, basically, yeah, my point to her was that, like, she knows a lot more than me. I was kind of trying to unpack an intuition, but Piper is violently uncharitable when it comes to just having a disagreement with her on anything. So it wasn't even that, like, I was right necessarily. It was more that she was just being so unreasonable, like, just forcing me to flesh out basic inferences, like, oh, he's a maverick, he cares about his legacy. Oh, explain the connection, like, why is that? I don't know. Either way, anyway, I thought she was being a bit uncharitable. But, yeah, that was good evidence of, like, how you can have an argument and it doesn't always have to end up, like, yeah.
Not always like that. I think she just has like a mood.
I used to argue with Piper way more. And it always ended well.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the first time I ever argued, it didn't end well, but then all subsequent arguments, they always get heated. Like, we had one about immigration a while ago. You know, I kind of, like, almost value that about her. Like, you know, she's a tough competitor always. You know, it's never going to be easy if you have a disagreement. And it's a mix of, like,
Bill Bro, and then you know the political style of debate, kind of where it's just like, I don't know, a lot more posturing. I don't know, but she's good. I think she's a very good debater.
She is a very good debater.
Yeah, I look at her. She's better than you.
Yeah, everyone's better than me. I'm a horrible debater. I
Yeah,
barely talk.
That's true. You're a horrible, you're a horrible, like, communicator.
Thanks, bro.
You're a horrible person.
That's true too. Yeah, no, I guess like every time I've had a debate with Piper, like I fucking cloggered. But I was right in all this instances, so that's the ironic part.
The Nick got me today.
Who?
The Nick got.
Say what, sir?
He got me. He got me back.
Oh, he removed you from the room?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna be unfortunate because I have to keep doing it. Keep the profits name out of Sunset Mom.
She just said it the other day.
Yeah, but I called her out on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, apologies.
Levy. Eres Salados.
I told her, like, you can only do it. I was like, you have to make it, like, reasonable that you don't go from, I think you, Sasha, to, okay, the prophet's a pedophile. Like, you can't, that's not a jump that's acceptable.
But what about Sam? Sam's, like, Islamophobia.
Nah, he's not saying anything disrespectful.
Well, what do you mean? He says that shit all the time?
No, he doesn't.
Sam, do you not call the prophet peace and blessings be upon the gay man a pedophile?
When I talk about the prophet, Salamallahu alayhi wasalam, I talked about him in like respectful tones, yeah.
No, you fucking.
I know.
Dishonest little hack. Look, Alvito, get him, bro. He's worse than Sasha.
No.
That's Sasha getting punished.
Hey,
and he's friends with Cynic. And he's friends with Cynic, bro.
Oh my god.
You need to target Sam. Look, hey, Sasha, I'm telling Alvito, he's got all these rules for you. Sam did even more of an Islamophobe than you are. It's like, he's not being sanctioned at all by Alvito. What is this?
Yeah, what's going on? Wait, how is Albedo sanctioning you? What's going on?
I don't know, it's like some deal. Oh, sorry, is it like a private deal? I don't know.
Well, apparently not.
Okay, well, basically, Albedo.
I didn't even really say anything about it, though.
He was the victim of a removal by Cynic today. And basically, that's like a response for him removing Cynic. And that is because he offered that as the bargaining chip for preventing you from calling the Nabi alayhi salam an unspeakable.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then, but no sanctions on Sam.
Yeah. Well, it's not really a sanction. It's more just like a deal. I don't know, for like some like 3 shekels or something. Like if I did this happened, like the rooms would just be like 2 people in it.
Cynic hates,
as long as Andre.
Cynic hates Sasha more than me, which I find incredible. Like Sasha, it's very impressive work.
Wait, what?
Cynic dislikes you more than he dislikes me. Which is surprising that I'm a Jew who calls him not as prophet pedophile. I call him a pedophile on a regular basis, and I like am constantly just like talking shit about him. Yet you were able to just get him more angry. Just
he's like I don't even know if like you can like kind of derive patterns or reason from his behavior. It's like a fucking drunk spastic like. I don't even like. I had a conversation with him the other day. He was just saying random shit that he thinks I've said, like, "Oh, you called the prophet a pedophile that one time," and he was like saying it with such conviction, where like he probably does believe he's had these conversations with me. He hasn't. Ironically, we've barely actually interacted, and all the 3 or 3.5, however many years I've been on this app, I've probably spoken to him less than like I could count on 2 hands.
how many times we've actually had a conversation. And he's like bringing up all these conversations we had. I'm like, you really are just like some drunk delusion. Like, I don't really speak to you on like a level. Like even the first time, he's like accusing me of calling him a pedophile, and that's the reason he called me the N-word. I fucking promise you guys, yeah. The first time we had a conversation, he laid out this whole random inference about B theory of time and atheists being nihilist. And I was like, you're a fucking retard who doesn't understand what you're talking about. Like, define metaphysics. What are you talking about? And his response was, you're black. And I was like, huh? And he called me an N-word. It's like, and then now we have a conversation, and I'm telling him, like, bro, I don't care that you call me an N-word, but he's like, I only called you an N-word because you called me a pedophile. I was like, my boy, just making shit up. Just making up random things. Like, or maybe he just thinks I'm Sasha, which is a big compliment. I don't know.
Well, maybe it's because of my profile. Sasha, I had a conversation with Dur, and it reminded me of something that you said a while ago. You asked me about what do I think about like the view of mereology and like if it's like a substantive debate. Do you remember that? Yeah, roughly. And he said, he's like, I hate that I have this view because of like the stuff that's kind of surrounding it. But he kind of thinks like epistemology is like that. Non-substantive. Yeah. Yeah, I see. And I was like, damn, I don't feel that way about that one.
He's basically like Baron Munchausen, but he like instead drowned in the lake.
Right. To pulled himself by the bootstraps.
Right. Or his ponytail.
He might come to the app. If he does, you should talk to him.
Yeah, Timothy, have you heard of the G theory?
Yeah, do like a little interview. Oh, hey, buddy. You know, it's a mouse, huh? Are they spooky or? I actually don't know.
Go on, G theory.
Yeah, G theory's like a gangster waits for nobody. You know what I mean?
Huh?
The G theory of time is like a gangster doesn't wait around. Like they get shit done, you know?
Yeah, okay. Have you had any CP theory of that?
You just gotta, you know, like can't wait too long, you know?
It's a couple hours. It's a couple hours behind all the other theories. It's like one time block removed from every other thing.
I mean, you gotta just pull yourself up by your Jordans, you know what I mean?
Bro, I love it.
In the room. Bravo?
Bravo. Sorry, no, push there. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
I'm better looking than that guy on your feet than Black Andrew's second. Ugandan Andrew.
I didn't even think that was possible.
No, the chat features don't extend across races. You find okay. They don't translate well.
I see.
Actually, no, do they? I don't know. I saw something recently, I think, where like some black guy was like, just some white guy was like, I don't find black women attractive, and then they showed him some picture, and he was like, oh, she's attractive. Yeah. It was like some Muslim guy, some white Muslim guy, and I was like, I don't find them attractive. And he's like, what about this black girl? And he was like, yeah. She had like blonde hair maybe and blue eyes or something. I can't remember. She had some kind of feminine feature. She had some
that's very surprising for a black woman.
She had some kind of white feature. And then he was like, yeah, but she's like rare, whatever. He's like, because she has white features. And then they kind of like zoomed in on the thing, and it's like she had like a white nose, obviously dark skin, whatever. It's like one.
AI
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think she just like a model or something. But it was like it just really went to show you that it was like very superficial. But I can't remember that. It's like just either just blonde hair or just blue eyes, or maybe not blue eyes, like green eyes, something. Just very funny.
That's it.
So you ever seen Caligipianism? So does anyone heard of that? I think we got the word right. I should look it up. Well, there's a mutation that some black girls get where their butts get like 2x as big. It's like legit, and then like, but it's not like every black woman. It's not like, oh, black women have big butts. It's like a specific thing. Like, I wonder if sexual selection has anything to do with that. I wonder if that has anything. Alright, I'm gonna Google the exact name of it. Caligipianism, something like that. No.
By the way, Timothy, I was wrong about why I told you I knew that word pareidolia. I remembered later. Thought it had to do with the Face on Mars thing, but it was actually from a Vsauce video.
Hey, Vsauce. Michael, where are your fingers?
Put them up your butt. Did you know the butt has 18,000 nerves?
Alright, so the term is called stetopygia. It's the state of having substantial levels of tissue on the butt. It's not confined to the gluteal regions, but outside of the thighs. And it has been observed amongst the Khoisan, the Pygmies, and Andaman Islanders.
What the fuck? Did I just... Did you mention this before, like in the last minute?
Is that
me?
Yeah, like the butt having nerves?
I didn't mention butts having nerves. I mentioned that there's a thing. I called it Caligipianism.
Like an response to me.
The nerve of that butt.
No, I said something like that, but those like two totally unrelated things. I watched every single Vsauce video while I was in the hospital waiting for my daughter to be born.
What's Vsauce? What is that?
It's like vagina pussy. Vagina juice.
Vsauce, Michael here. I know Veritasium chemistry.
Hmm?
You know what Veritasium is, Timothy?
No.
Okay, do you know, like, basketball on YouTube?
Yes.
Yes, like, imagine that, but, like, instead of playing basketball, they, like, talk about science.
Oh, was it the, like, funny videos that you sent me a video one time? It was, like, on Time or something.
Might have been that, I don't remember.
It was, like, some
There's,
fucking...
like, this, like, popular kind of, like, you know, like, videos made to be kind of, like, accessible, and, like,
Yeah,
kind of,
I
like,
think you sent me
massy stuff.
Yeah, you sent me one on, like, Time one time. One time.
Vsauce is just like fucking stream of consciousness about facts, basically.
There's one good Vsauce video, kind of good about meteorology, actually. Like, if your chairs exist or something.
Yeah. No, there's a bunch of good ones.
Have chair wiseness.
What do you say?
Doesn't exist, but there's like objects with chair wiseness. How it went.
Yeah, it just sounds like armchair metaphysics.
Right.
I wrote the song I Like Butts, it would have been like, I like small butts. I like appropriate, subtly sized, proportional butts. I like butts that are in line with the rest of their body.
That's what you have to rap about.
I like butts and I cannot.
While you pretend that Rubenesque women aren't more attractive. You liar. You're a liar.
Christian version.
I hate you.
Because I like big Bibles and I cannot lie. It's called The Baby's a Cat Book. It's an entire song.
Yo, what's that song? What's the one that's like, sounds really bigger. That's right, Jesus Christ is what?
Rapping for Jesus.
Yo, I can Piper rap, like, say that was MJ's favorite song.
You watched that video I sent you?
Was it today?
Yeah.
Was it the one about trans women? It's like one where it's like,
not exactly,
$50.
It's like, oh, for $10 you do this, like for $50, or for $200 you do great. Yeah.
Yo, I saw some shit like that where it's like some YouTuber or something that basically went like these videos just like 24 hours as a woman or something, and then was like, hey guys, I saw some clip, I don't know if it's like real or if it's like a meme, but I'm a bit credulous on Instagram, I'm a bit of a boomer. But it was like, hey guys, like I didn't realize how like comfortable I would feel until like I started doing those videos, and now basically I'm doing full time. So he's like famous as well.
People that happen to, yeah. Like a very well-known example of this is Mr. Finster. He's actually one of your countrymen. Some people meet him at like a Comic-Con or something.
No, I don't know if they're actually trans like every day of their lives, but they were like, I don't know, Eastern European maybe. But like in America, the videos are like in America. They're like an Eastern European person in America.
Yeah, okay, common phenomenon, I think, though. It just turns out that like doing like stuff trans people do as a joke is a gateway for men to realize they're actually trans.
Yeah, but I want to say like, I don't know what his like sexual orientation is, but I can understand it if you are gay.
What?
If it's a buff guy dressing as a girl, that's Vladimir NCL.
I think it was buff. I don't really know.
Why are you
he kind of not like passing completely, but like not body wise, it's not like clear that he was a man, or like when he was doing.
Yeah, this
guy is like pretty buff. Like you can see just via the body. Like most people would assume, like it's that it's not like a biological female, whatever.
That's kind of problematic.
Biological female. He said it melodically, right?
Yeah, he was like very uncomfortable using the terminology. You could tell.
No, so then he loves telling people they're not trans.
Like he does?
Yeah.
How so?
Like that's part of his theory. Like his theory allows him to just like, he thinks there's an objective criteria, and regardless of how you identify, if you don't satisfy the criteria, then you're just you're not a woman or you're not a man.
Well, what are the objective criteria? Is it the brain stuff?
I don't know. Ask him. Yeah.
Like he doesn't talk to me.
Oh, okay. There are no deals between the
What did you say? What?
I said, forget it, yeah, it's one of those ones that moment spots. If I say it now, it's too offensive.
My screw is big and it keeps getting bigger as That's cause Jesus Christ is my ninja. Life changer, miracle arranger, born to a virgin in the manger. Water to wine, he's the drink exchanger. I'm sorry.
You insulted my people.
I said Jesus Christ is my ninja, bro.
Lord, forgive me. What do you mean? It's like Andrew when he said, fish. You know what he meant.
He means faggot.
Yeah, who's that guy that Jane picked the other day? Started tweaking to put everyone in Epsilon. Why? I can't see that. Is that upset you, huh?
I think I know who you're talking about, yeah. It's like, it was Keegan, I think that was his name.
Yeah, that's it. He's like him, and there's like another guy that were like that they have like, they dress like, you know like Gavin McInnes dresses like he does the Defender thing, like Michael Douglas in that movie, Falling Down. It's like the white national.
That movie reference, yeah.
No, the movie's called Falling Down. Do you know?
Sure.
No, if you don't, just say it. Like, I'm not necessarily expecting you to. But it is relevant because a lot of white nationalists, for reasons unbeknownst to me, I guess it's because it's kind of like, this is the final straw, Mexicans, go back home. It's like the movie's about this guy having basically like some fucking mental breakdown, just, you know, like it is the fucking paradigm case of quote unquote crashing out. This Michael Douglas character. I actually can't even remember the film that well. I saw it a long time ago. But basically, in this film, he wears like this. The outfit he wears, it's like he's got this like really fucking like high top haircut. He's wearing like a fucking short sleeved shirt and tie with like pens in the front pocket, and it's like this like white and black ensemble. And like apparently that's become the uniform of like right wing fucking, you know, pundits and, you know.
This conversation, man. Enough about Ford.
And Robert, you know about the game. You got nephews that play the game and cousins and everything.
Omar, that's enough. Omar, enough.
I was gonna go there, but I stopped, man. Because that was definitely an effort.
I saw saying enough is another homo. You know, I'm gonna be my 49.
Right, Christy, what damn
I'm gonna be my 49-year-old self off you.
Hey, man, I'm talking like I'm at the barbershop, man. I'm sorry about that, Dad. I'm sorry.
Hey, Matt, who's Kanan? Kanan, is that his name? Is that how you say it? Khan?
Yeah, that's 50 Cent's character in
Yeah, Kanan.
Yeah.
Power. Yeah, I know. But is that Kanan? Or is that Kanan?
I don't know. Tomatoes, tomatoes. I'm confused. Trying to get some of this. Trying to give me one of these little healthy drinks here, one of these cold pressed juices.
Yeah.
And
What did you eat before you get ready to drink it?
Earlier, and I'm gonna drink this tomorrow on an empty stomach. But earlier, I've been eating a lot of. I was gonna say pause. I've been eating a lot of protein because I'm working out.
You've been eating a lot of meat.
No, I've been eating tuna fish. Pause. I've been eating tuna fish. Thank you. Y'all see? Y'all play with me. Nah, I've been eating a lot of protein, like just straight sets and then protein. Like
protein is meat.
Tuna fish, and now the forest berry. They're like, this trail mix is dope. This is a high protein product I have in my hand right now. So that's it. But the juice, I like to drink that on an empty stomach. Like these pure juices, yeah, you don't want food in your stomach. You want to drink that on an empty stomach. Faster absorption. Yeah, those little things are like, then they're $9 each. Who when you think about it, people buy alcoholic beverages in New York. Average drink is probably about $14, right? You know, so.
You put a price on health.
Oh, what? For a cocktail. Actually, average cocktail in New York is gonna be like at a decent spot. It's gonna be at least $14 easily.
Wow, $14 is cheap.
18 at least.
Yeah, 14 is cheap.
Yeah, exactly. I just did a minimum.
Yeah.
So do we have a conversation looming?
I don't know, man. I'm waiting on y'all. I'm starting to do stuff.
Yeah, just to add in what I do like though. Yo, what in New York? Oh, could you be quiet? The fuck? What I do like though, we get a lot of liquor with our
What
when you get $15 cocktails, we get a lot of liquor with the drink though. We do.
Oh, I don't really drink. Yeah, I don't really drink because I'm alcohol like that. Yeah, I smoke natural herbs, but I don't drink like that.
I'm smoking natural herbs.
I don't drink beer. I don't drink beer. Well, I drink stout. I keep a stout, man. I keep a stout on deck, definitely. Guinness for stamina.
Oh man, ain't that about a?
I love getting stout. I love it.
Just stamina.
So Guinness stout. Stout is a mixture with Ital stout.
You drink it in the morning for breakfast. It's an egg up in there.
There's different things. So you have Guinness stout, you have Dragon stout. There's different.
Oh, Dragon with the red label. They don't know about no Dragon stout, man. Come on.
No, they don't know about Dragon stout. So,
That's all. I've never seen it before.
They got a queen. They got. Let me see.
Can I answer Sandra's? So Sandra, Dragon stout is in Jamaica. We have something called Dragon stout. It's similar to Guinness, but it's Jamaican made. D&G, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Dragon stout, yes.
Hey, y'all know what my new drink is, man? That Don Julio, man. That shit ain't on. Yo, Robbie, that Don Julio shit.
I think Dragon predates Guinness. Some crap.
Hey, HK, you don't fuck with that Don Julio?
Yeah, I don't drink. I don't. I think that's on the lowest shelf, right?
Yo, that Don Julio, yo, Robert, that Don Julio keep you all night. Pause.
That's that cheap nigga.
Nah. Let me show you. Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna show you some thoughts.
I went to
an activation recently. I went to a dope activation recently. I think I got some pictures from that event.
Y'all know tequila is one of the few like pick me up versus it's not a downer. Yo, that shit how you.
You okay, man?
Omar. You strike me as an ENG, nigga.
Nah, nigga, I'm a Don Julio, nigga. Nigga, do anything cash rip you $100 to get some Don Julio, my nigga? Anything cash rip you $100, nigga?
Please, God.
Don't play me, bro. Oh, do I need to cash rip you, my nigga?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
We're not gonna do that. Omar, you still right now?
Hold on, let me get out.
Right now. I'm on 10 toes right now.
Meet me at El Camino. I get some real tequila.
This shit.
I like El Camino. Yo, they got my favorite tacos there too. I fuck with El Camino.
I saw some real man tequila. They got some good stuff there.
Yeah, I fuck with El Camino. That's my drawing right there. I get the tacos. That shit be fun. I get 3 tacos. I'll be good.
They got an El Camino in Philly too. Yeah. It's right by my house.
Yeah, right in what's that? Northern Liberties. Yeah. That's my shit, right? Yo, Dap, that Don Julio Dap, I'm telling you, man, yo, that shit, that shit crazy.
I know about Don Julio, I know. Reposado.
You get a Reposado. Like, Don Julio is still bottom shelf. You gotta get the real ones, like El Mezcal, like the one with the bell on top of it, with the ceramic box.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a real job.
Don Julio is still a call.
We might take Omar to get a real hoagie. We'll get a real tequila.
Yo, HK, guess where I was at? I had a nice little cheese there. I went to the joint, Joy Molino joint. The joint was alright.
Nobody put diced onions on a sandwich though. You know it.
Nah. You go down that joint. You don't like that joint. That joint, alright, man. You put real Cooper sharp cheese on that motherfucker. Yo, that joint, alright.
Where is that?
It's Joy Molino cheesesteak joint. It's in South Philly. Forgot what street.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Philly for the first time in a week or two. Where I need to go to what restaurant?
I think you'll like Philly Asian. You'll like.
It's like the first time. Yeah, the restaurant that
Philly's if you put Brooklyn, Bronx, and Harlem together.
What kind of vibe you want? Like, what kind of vibe you looking for?
I'm like,
Are you an ENJ? Hey, are you an ENJ nigga or are you a Don Julio nigga?
Like I said, Omar know what I'm talking about. He a Philly nigga. Philly's if you put the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Harlem together.
That's fair. I ain't mad.
Asian, I'll send you some recommendations in your back channel. I'm not going to say it out loud.
I think you might like the Reef. Like if you want some a joint that's neutral, you might like the Reef, Jamaican owned joint. You might like the Reef, you know what I mean? Cocktails and shit like that on South Street. Yeah, I mean that's something just a neutral spot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I never go to Jamaican restaurants when I travel. I mean, that wasn't even what I was considering. I was just like, something authentically Philly. You know what I mean? Like
the Reef. I would say the Reef. Listen. Hey, listen. The Reef has been in Philadelphia for probably 20 years. That's authentic at this point. Everybody goes there. You know, at one point. You know what I mean? So I would say, that's an authentic experience. Ain't nothing wrong with the Reef.
Asian, just go to Passandinos. It's like you're a tourist, you gotta go there.
No, come on. Come on. Don't send them there. Come on, bro.
Alright, y'all. Alright. We love Philly.
Why you killed the mood?
Don't go to
Franklin Mills. Shout out to Franklin Mills when I was 13. Get on the Peter.
You had it, Philly cheese?
Yeah, I know about Philly. Omar. I know about me and you have done Philly. I know about Philly. Right down the street from Temple.
Yeah. Y'all remember the Omni back in the day in Philly? I don't remember that. Y'all remember?
Philly has came a long way.
Yes, it has.
We already been here. No, I don't hear that. We already been here. Don't do that, Mel.
I'm saying the streets of Philly.
Listen, I'm in New York more than Mel. Y'all don't listen to her.
Yo, shut up.
Philly blunts. I heard that for Philly stunt.
Philly stunt.
Well, where that come from?
Yeah, they say Philly got the real niggas. They say that's where the real niggas at.
Yo,
Philly blunt.
I'm up to move now. That's it.
It's Philly stunts. I heard that's the Philly stunts. Where that came from.
They say, yeah, that's where the real niggas at. Yeah.
ATK like he got a bug.
Yeah, I gotta be clear to Omar like this. I'm about to go beat up now.
They love that word.
No, some real shit. Yo, don't you work for the city? I heard they about to go on strike. Don't you work for the city?
Man, what the fuck is what? No, I work in New York.
Oh, my bad. I thought you working for the city. My bad. They about to go on strike though, man. It's gonna fuck up my
you travel? HK, you travel every morning?
3 times a week. It's a return to office call, but yeah, I mean 3 times a week.
Oh, you take the train to Penn Station.
Yeah, that's not uncommon, man. That's not uncommon.
At all.
You remember back in the day, people moved to PA?
Yeah.
For travel.
Because they want less taxes.
Right.
What is the name of that place again? Patty and Mill?
Poconos, 1-800-WIRE. Remember that?
They want to go into the champagne room. The champagne room.
Niggas living out here with bugs and flies and no stores.
Hey, not too much on Allentown and the Poconos. Not too much.
Omar, yes. I know a lot of people, so I know a good amount of people. I don't want to people. Patty and Mel know what I do for a living, and so does JD. So, when I was younger, I know so much people my age that ran out to PA and New Jersey from the city to go and live. Bought the house, did their thing. Whoever ended up getting separated, they have to stay in the house because it's cheaper to keep the person.
Yeah.
And then they waited until like how old I am now. Everybody getting divorced and they going their separate ways. People who I'm starting to get up there in age. So people starting to, niggas that been working for like 25 years, they starting to retire. So yeah, that's what a lot of people I know that's going through. Yes, it's very cheaper to keep her. So that's what a lot of people's going through. And a lot of people, their house over there, they pick up value though, shit. And I know a lot of people, dudes used to be jumping on that bus for the 2-hour ride to come from PA to come right back to New York, sleep over their mother house, or even some of them.
No, they kept their apartments, remember?
Yeah.
What people did was they did the 1-800 Broadway for $4.45 or $5.
Yeah, sleep at my house.
Kept their apartment, rented it out to their little cousin.
Including my family, yeah. Florida too, yes, that's a fact. Florida too.
That shit was funny. I remember that commercial. Because I was like, we should move to the Poconos. My grandma was like, I'm not moving to the Poconos. I'm not living
Mount Airy Lodge. Beautiful Mount Airy Lodge.
That shit was funny. Them commercials in New York back in the day, oh my God.
I'm so in love with that city.
You know what? When you live in New York, when I was growing up, I hated New York because I was living there. And then as I left, I mean, I don't like staying too long because people be begging and shit. But it's like when you leave, you realize like everything you miss. No city like New York City. No city.
I miss New York.
Yeah, when you miss people and you've been in New York, yeah, you miss New York.
It's not only the people, it's just like everything. Like you miss your convenience, you miss your food, you miss your trucks, your food trucks, you fucking like, even like when I get, what is them goddamn, when I get my falafel sandwich, there's no place makes falafels like fucking New York. Nobody.
That's a fact.
I can visit New York. I love visiting New York. I can never live in New York. I can only visit.
Listen, New York gave birth to my first child, man. A New York woman, man. I will always shout out to Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to New York.
That's 17% of child support.
Coney Island, man.
No, got no.
You be getting on the cyclone.
Hey.
No, I ain't.
You be getting on the cyclone, Omar.
Yo, y'all New York women, y'all go straight.
When she filed you, when she served you with that petition, you was like, "Fuck, 17%. Why this bitch can't live in PA?"
She actually, no, hold on. Put that context. She actually lives in Pennsylvania. She went to Pennsylvania, but she's a New Yorker. She's a native New Yorker.
Oh, okay. So when she took you for child support, she was already in PA. I get it.
Nah, she never did that.
You got Cheney girl? You got to step up on the woman.
Yeah, she's a Cheney girl. Yeah, she went to Cheney, man, New Yorker. Coney Island. I got a Coney Island girl. And y'all know how hard it is to get a Coney Island girl. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
So you got you a hood rat?
Come on, that's Coney Island. You know, what hood rat's come out of Coney? Come on. Come on, Pat. That's Coney Island. Come on.
Hold on, sir. Hold on. So there's a lot of projects in Coney Island. There's a lot of high-rise in Coney Island outside of the projects. So what are you saying? What part of Coney Island?
Let's be honest. Hey, let's be honest.
Was she in the projects?
No, she wasn't in the projects. She wasn't in the project. Let's be honest. A lot of Brooklyn dudes.
She's not a real one now. Okay.
No, hold on. A lot of Brooklyn dudes. Let's be honest. A lot of Brooklyn dudes wouldn't mind a Coney girl. I'll just leave it at that. That's all I'm saying. Boy, y'all got it.
They wasn't even going that far. Why they gotta go that far?
They was hopping on the D train. Listen, they was hopping on the D train.
Ain't nobody want to go on the D train.
I used to take the D train. I used to live in the Bronx. I used to get on.
That's the only they used to like, the one that was going to the Bronx, not the one that was on the island.
161st.
Contrary to popular belief, New York dudes, we do drive cars. We don't always hop on the train.
That's a fact.
If you're about it type of New York dude, you got a car. And female too. So hence why I asked you what type of female was you dealing with. Because let's not try to act like there's nothing wrong with the projects.
because there's not. Because not
Of
everybody.
course not. I could talk about the projects because I live in the projects. Nobody else can.
Yeah,
Thank you.
listen, Dad, let me tell you what she lived at. Dad, let me tell you what she lived at in Coney. There's nothing wrong with the projects. The projects didn't have all hood rat females and niggas at all. You have a lot of dudes that come from the projects. They were on their game. They did what they needed to do. They help out their family stuff. Females too. So I don't sit there and judge everybody that grew up in the projects in New York City because the projects in New York City had delivered some real grounded, strong people.
Yeah,
So
New York is kind of different than like.
Hey, Patty, guess where she lived at? Y'all know Coney Island, right? She lived.
I've definitely been a hood rat once upon a time.
Listen. She lived right next to Seagate. If anybody knows what Seagate is in Coney Island, right? That residential area there, right there.
You have Seagate. You have the Seagate co-op buildings. You have the Seagate project.
No, but you know the Seagate I'm talking about, though, not the co-op.
I just want to let you know there's more hood rats in the projects than no hood rats. Let's be clear. Okay.
Hey,
I know about all the staircase games. I know about all of that.
Listen, man. They had a fucking Bel Air and everything at their joint where it was.
You used to ride on the Cyclone.
Nah, I never did that with her. Nah, I never did that.
Damn, you didn't even have money to take it to go ride the Cyclone? That's crazy.
Yo, I used to go there for
You was trying to hit off in the building. That's crazy.
Made a baby with her. Made a baby with her.
You made that baby in the roof, I bet you.
Made a baby with her. Shit, I did something right.
It's a ride. The Coney Island has a border. Coney Island have like a little great adventures going on with it.
It's not great adventures. It's a bearded woman.
No, I said a little. That's why I said a little. You heard what I said, right? A little. Okay.
Coney Island is a fucking carnival. Coney Island is a carnival.
Hey, remember the bearded woman? She was on that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Graphic, y'all. She's been there since I was born.
Raise your hand if you used to cut school and go there after. I used to cut school and go there.
Is that kind of like Santa Monica Pier, like something similar to that, or no?
Something similar to that, Gemini. Yeah.
Yeah, but that we got.
Everybody used to cut school and go to the game room. Remember the game room in what is it? Times Square.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you remember they used to have like the photos that you gotta take a picture. He takes a picture and it tells you how the baby looks. Right.
Oh no, that was before me.
Hey, but Mel, you know Brooklyn got bougie girls too. Like she's a bougie Brooklyn girl.
Oh
like
my
bougie.
God, why is he talking about this baby? Nothing.
And he's fucking with you.
She bougie because she left to PA.
First lady, she changed my life, man. Changed my life.
She changed your life to make you.
She changed your life for the better, but you
you're
not with her.
Right.
You should have married her.
Look at that.
Nah, I wasn't thinking about marriage. No,
Go get your thing back.
No. She changed my life, man. Some real shit.
Miss Patty, when you get a chance.
That was a New Yorker that did that. A New Yorker.
That was the first lawyer chick you had, right?
That's exactly what it was.
I had some local loyal too, but I ain't saying all that. But
Patty, did you hear me? I swiped out.
I got a boy. Yeah, she heard you, Sandra. I'm not even being rude. Yeah, she heard you, love. Yo, I remember, when this younger dude, he fell in love with this chick from Philly. She set him up. Some of the chicks, New York chicks too, but it depends on the level. Just like Philly too, just like Baltimore. This dude got set up. He's a younger dude for me, but I'm Jamaican. He's Jamaican too.
The chicks from Philly are more ratchet. I'm just saying.
She set him up. He went out there to go look for her. He was doing his thing, and he was a good dude. He went out there. He went to Penn State, all of that. Went to some strip club. Now, to me, when I was talking to him, I'm like, yo, be careful, because just because, stripper, what do you fall in love with a stripper for? Like,
I'm in love with a stripper.
Like, what are you falling for a stripper for? So anyway, she did him dirty. They set him up. We had to go to Philly to go look at his body and all that. We took his mother and all of that. So, you know, some of them, like in New York too, New York got them too. So, Baltimore, DC, you know, yes, I lost a friend. He was very younger than me. I was a mentor to him. And yeah, he died. She set him up. They set him up. They robbed him of like 3 G's and some change. $3,000. $3,000. This was like in the late 90s. $3,000. You hear him? I'm gonna say it again. 3 G's. It's not like it was like 50. $3,000. We lost him just because of some hood rat bitch that set him up for $3,000.
Yeah, I ain't never dealt with no hood rat Jones, but my first baby mom was from New York City. Now my second baby mom, she was a Philly girl. She's like so Philly.
And what about the 5th?
But yeah. Say it again. What you say, Patty?
What about the 5th and 6th, baby?
Nah, I ain't got no 5th and 6th. Come on, man. What are we talking about? I got 2 baby mamas that I have no beef with. Yeah. Everything is good. So if he talks,
it's good now because they're old, right?
Listen, if you talk to a guy like Omar, you ain't gotta worry about no baby mama drama. He take care of his kids. He good. You know what I mean? It's all.
So you're not paying child support through court. You're doing like me. You used to pay. I pay child support through her. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh,
You got babies in DR though.
Listen, what that DR ain't got nothing to do with me parenting. I'm still a parent. Come on, y'all. What are you talking about here? I still parent.
Me too. Oh, I didn't have baby mama drama.
He ain't got no baby mama drama because they old now.
I
It's
ain't got no
crazy.
baby mama drama.
I never did.
But I never did.
Omar, you lying.
Younger. They didn't have no drama with them. Like that's one thing.
Because you was still fucking them.
No, listen. I always pick women that didn't have. They wasn't about the drama, man. They wasn't drama girls.
Yeah, but they loved you. That's weird.
Is that international child support?
Hold on, say
I'm
that again.
pretty sure they are looking for you right now.
But they like you.
No, I'm not a drama. Yeah, I'm not a drama person.
Nah, you're not. You just a little ratchet.
Yeah, why y'all putting that ratchet term on me? Yo, that's crazy. Yo, that called me an ENJ nigga. Yo, that was crazy, man. That was wild.
What?
Nah, I said you called me an ENJ nigga. Yeah, that was crazy.
What do you mean, New Jersey? I never called you New Jersey nigga.
No, I said ENJ.
Yeah, because you tried me as an easy Jesus type dude.
Nah, I was fucking with you, Dad. I only fuck with ENJ, man. That was a long time ago.
See what I'm saying? And you stepped up to you see what I'm saying?
No. What I'm saying is that was when you like a fucking 18 drinking ENJ. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't drinking ENJ in damn near 15, 20 years.
Omar, you going back to PA?
I'm in PA now. What do you mean?
So you already went back. You ain't in New York no more. I thought you were still in New York.
She was born and raised in New York. She went to
Mother freak, I'm talking about you. Stop talking about your baby mama.
No, let me tell you the high school she went to, Mel. Guess what high school she went to, Mel? The high school was Spike Lee. The high school Spike Lee went to. Huey? I forgot her name. Yeah. She went to high school Spike. She used to always bring that up. Yeah, with that Spike Lee went to my high school. She always bring that up.
How old is she?
John Dewey.
How old are you, Omar?
Who, me? I'll be 40, man, in the fall.
When your birthday?
So how'd you go to school with?
You said fall. When your birthday?
Are you talking about the school she went to?
Yeah, the school she went to.
No, I was saying.
You know the schools in New York have people that was exclusive and have.
No, I was saying no. I said her famous person that went to her high school was Spike Lee. She would always say that. And Spike Lee went to high school.
She went to high school in Manhattan. So Omar.
No, she went to John Dewey. What was it, John Dewey? Something?
Oh yeah, that's in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
so, Omar, you said your birthday in the fall. When your birthday, October, November?
I'm an October baby.
He's a Libra.
No, Scorpios.
Oh, he's Scorpio.
When your birthday, Omar?
October 23rd.
That's my fucking birthday, nigga.
No, don't say that, Dap. Don't say that. Yeah.
Oh, that's my birthday. We different years, but that's my birthday.
Yo, get the fuck out of here.
You a Scorpio too?
So he's claiming so you claim Scorpio for the 23rd?
Hold on, no.
Yeah, I claim that
it was the year I was born. It was a 29th degree of Libra, so I'm a Libra. But Omar, that's your birthday. That's my birthday, October 23rd.
Get the fuck out of here, Dap. Yo, that's
but I was born in the 70s, though. I was born in the 70s, though. I'm a 70s baby, so we different. But you really October 13th. I mean October 23rd. What?
Nah, but you know what? That Scorpios, they kind of like they give that little, bounce, like
Omar, you October 23rd for real? I can't believe you got the same fucking birthday.
Yo, that's crazy, Dab. Yo, that's wild.
Okay,
wow.
So I did find a video, right, to talk about what to know about the Supreme Court decision limiting the use of nationwide injunction, since everybody wants to talk on the subject and they're not actually understanding what it is. Are y'all cool with that? Did you talk about alcohol, what your birth sign is? Like,
I'm good with that.
Supreme Court, please.
Wait, say that again, Patty. Patty, say that again.
I found a video that says what to know about the Supreme Court decision limiting the use of nationwide injunctions. Hopefully this actually explains what was said, because if you didn't listen to the oral arguments, you may not understand what the ruling was. Because people keep talking about other things, that these nuances that is not part of the actual ruling, what they were arguing about. Hold on, hopefully this actually explains it. If it doesn't, then whatever. I'm just reading headlines like the rest of y'all do.
CBS News special report. I'm Tony Nicopol in New York, and we are coming out of the year. It's the last day of the Supreme Court term with a groundbreaking decision from the court that could have a big impact on the arguments around and over birthright citizenship. The justices have just ruled on whether a single federal judge has the authority to issue what are known as nationwide injunctions that block federal policies across the entire U.S. That case goes back to a Trump administration executive order issued back in January to limit who can claim U.S. citizenship from being born, following being born in this country. Jan Crawford is our Supreme Court watcher, and she's at the court for us this morning. She's been reading this ruling, which came out just minutes ago. I understand it's a thick opinion, Jan. What does it say?
Well, first of all, Tony, I think it's important to say right at the top, this is not an opinion about birthright citizenship, about the merits of that issue, about whether or not Trump's executive order is blatantly unconstitutional, as every federal judge says. So put that to the side. This is only a ruling, and it is, I agree with you, a major landmark ruling on whether federal judges have that power, one federal judge, to basically dictate policy nationwide by invalidating a president's initiative. This is not a partisan issue. This is something that's a recently new phenomenon we've seen in the last decade. Presidents, starting with President Obama, obviously the first administration, President Trump, President Biden, all have had to deal with federal judges blocking their initiatives and then implementing it in a nationwide manner. So this is a big win, not only for President Trump, but for presidents of any party, because what this means is, and what the court says in its 6-3 ruling written by Justice Amy Coney Barrett, dividing conservatives and liberals along ideological lines, this is not how our system is supposed to work. Congress, when it established powers of the federal judiciary back in 1789, never intended for one judge to be able to basically set the rule for the whole country. We have an appellate system. They work through the system. That's how the system is supposed to work. So the justices in this ruling today are saying it's not appropriate. In most cases, it's got to go about the normal process. But there are ways to get nationwide relief, and the court says today, for example, people can file class actions where that can eating, fatigue, and the gym 6 times a week, healthy eating habit, productive days, and the gym 3 times, perhaps apply nationwide. The point is, this is about process, and you got to drive the right car to the courthouse. And here, they didn't do it the right way. Tony. So the court's saying, do this the right way, the way the system is supposed to work. That means that I strongly believe, Tony, that there is very little chance that this executive order on birthright citizenship will ever be implemented. We're going to see people right away next week come back, refile some of these cases, ask for class actions that could be certified across the country. There's a process with that. You will still have some of these injunctions in place. This is just narrowing them a little bit so that they only apply to the parties who filed these cases, not to everyone. So I think it's highly unlikely that this will have any practical impact on that birthright citizenship order ever being implemented. Tony?
All right, Jan, thank you very much. Let's go to our Justice correspondent, Scott.
Okay, so I just paused it there, and the Justice correspondent's going to talk earlier. This is what we were talking about yesterday. Like, it's not about birthright citizenship, it's about the injunctions, which it does make sense if you do a class action lawsuit instead of taking a freaking individual lawsuit and trying to apply it nationwide. So I do somewhat agree with Amy Cohen Barrett, even though a lot of people are going to be like, it's not about no Republican, Democrat type judge. I do like the questions she asked, and if you listened to the oral arguments, her questions were like, it makes you think. So even though she got an F rating, but she worked for she worked for Scalise. So she's a smart girl. Let me go ahead and go back and play. Does anybody got any comment? Okay.
McFarland, who's been following this as well. Scott, these injunctions have been a tool of those who oppose President Trump's efforts to block them, to stop them, and now it seems like the injunctions will be limited in some way, but Jan says maybe the implications aren't going to be as broad as that may sound. What do you think the implications will be in terms of the relationship between the Trump administration and the federal courts?
Tony, it's an important ruling, but it also comes at a uniquely important moment amid a multi-front battle between the administration and the court system, a legal battle and a political battle, too. First of all, the politics. The administration likes to be criticizing the courts. They like to have that issue to push forward their issues of the day, accusing the courts of overreaching and muting the desires of the voters who elected President Trump. But the legal battles have been unprecedented, some of them potentially destabilizing to the balance of power. Just a couple days ago, the Trump administration, in a novel case, sued every federal judge in the District of Maryland, accusing them of overreaching with how they handled immigration cases. The Trump administration, Tony, is accused of not following a court order, also in Maryland, to return Gilmar Abrego Garcia, the man mistakenly deported from Maryland to El Salvador. And the battles are playing out all across the country. A legal showdown in so many places, Tony, between the Trump administration and the federal courts.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. Let's bring in Jessica Levinson. She's a CBS News legal contributor. She's also a professor at Loyola Law School. Her work focuses on constitutional law, election law, and the Supreme Court. Jessica, what do you make of Justice Coney Barrett writing this majority opinion? A lot of people thought it was going to be John Roberts.
Well, I think it makes some sense given where she is on the court, and I think she was able, obviously, to command more than a simple majority, but a 6-3 majority. In your questioning, during oral arguments, I think you really heard her trying to make sense of this case and be very clear, as Jan said, that it was not about birthright citizenship. It's not about the merits. It's about the equitable power of Congress, of Congress to grant judges this power. And so she's saying very clearly, if Congress wants to change this, they can. She's also saying very clearly that when people walk into federal court now and they ask for relief of an executive order, they cannot get these universal injunctions anymore. Instead, courts are limited in the scope, the remedy that they can provide. They can provide a remedy of saying to the people who walked in, maybe it's an individual, maybe it's a group, maybe it's a state, maybe it's a class action, as Jan was absolutely correct to emphasize, that the court can give relief to those people. I think increasingly, to your question, Tony, we're going to see Justice Barrett, who I think can speak to all sides of the court, have some of these big opinions, and it's important to listen to how she asks the questions in oral arguments. I think it gave us a roadmap for this opinion today.
All right, Jessica, thank you very much. I want to go back to Jan Crawford. Jan, you gave us a great overview of the majority opinion, but you've also been taking a look at the dissents in this case. You've only had a few minutes to digest it, but what stands out to you?
Well, I'm also getting information from Melissa Quinn, who is inside the Supreme Court, saying that Justice Sonia Sotomayor is reading aloud from her dissent. Remember, the 3 liberal justices dissented in this case, even though one of them, Justice Kagan, expressed extreme skepticism about nationwide injunctions when President Biden was in the White House. Now they're in dissent, and their dissent is really focusing on the issue of birthright citizenship and how this was the case that was really suited for a nationwide injunction. Remember, though, as I said, Tony, this has nothing to do with birthright citizenship. No judge that's considered that issue has ever said anything other than it's blatantly unconstitutional what President Trump's trying to do. And I do not believe the justices would ever green light that to go forward. So they're saying that this is the wrong case, that this case should have been one that could be a nationwide injunction. There are a few cases, and that was kind of the point that Justice Kagan was making during the oral argument, that maybe there would be some case that would be suited for a broad nationwide injunction blocking a president's initiative. The problem with that, though, Tony, as the other justices pointed out, is that every federal district court judge is going to think the issues before them are of extreme national importance. So it's not really going to have any impact at all. You have to do something with a little more teeth to it. For example, President Trump is now facing 40 or 50 nationwide injunctions in other cases, challenging other initiatives that he has put out there. So I do expect, going back to something Scott was saying, I do expect the administration to file motions to vacate the scope of those injunctions and try to narrow them in all of those cases. And they may win some of those, but I'm just saying in the birthright citizenship case, I'm highly skeptical that this decision today will have any real practical impact on whether Trump gets to rewrite our understanding that citizenship is automatic when you're born in this country, if you're here legally or not.
You know, Jan, people turn to Supreme Court decisions for a definitive answer, and I can imagine some viewers looking at the headline we have in the lower part of the screen that says injunctions likely exceed. What's the work of that word likely doing in that sense? Why don't we have a definitive does exceed or does not exceed?
You know, looking through the opinion, that's a great question, and that's the language that Justice Barrett uses. I think the opinion itself is pretty clear. I think what we have to remember is there are ways that people can get nationwide injunctions. You just have to do it in the right car. You know, get in the right car. You've got to file a class action. You have to file, you have a claim under a different federal law where you're seeking to vacate an agency rule. You have lived near a factory and you file a lawsuit that's specific to you, the party, but then that helps everyone if the court says no more to the pollution. So I think likely means like let's scale back on these things. There are ways to go about doing it, and Justice Thomas and Justice Alito in their separate concurring opinion made clear that you've got to go and do it the right way, that's important for the process. And so what this kind of case is, no. You know, we'll see. I mean, we've seen in some of these Trump cases, as you well know, Tony, that when lower court judges get cases back down to them, they don't always react the way I think the Supreme Court believed that they would react. But I think this was about as clear as you can get in this case.
All right, and you're as clear as can be as well. Jen Crawford, thank you very much. Jessica Levinson, thank you. Scott McFarland, thank you as well. And just to recap for our viewers, the Supreme Court has ruled 6-3 that lower court judges cannot issue nationwide injunctions in local cases. Quoting from the opinion, which was written by Amy Coney Barrett, quote, when a court concludes that the executive branch has acted unlawfully, the answer is not for the court to exceed its own power too. But they did not rule on the merits of the constitutionality, the question of birthright citizenship. That is a case for another day. We'll be following that as well, of course. Our coverage of this Supreme Court ruling and others will continue on our streaming channel.
All right, that's it. Hopefully that makes sense to y'all.
Thank you for that clip. Thank you for that clip. So I guess they're going to be doing other EOs with this ruling. So they're going to go back and look at other EOs got struck down, and they're going to reintroduce those EOs again. Probably.
Yeah, but the only way I think the only way we can get some type of nationwide injunction would be a class action lawsuit. That's why I was like, they're going to be basing it off of individual cases. So if someone sues because they feel like, oh, I'm trying to get my, so like, you know how Trump had in 50 states, he wanted them to like not recognize children that were born in the U.S. from a foreign parent, and that individual sues, it's only going to apply to that individual. So if the state sues, it's only going to apply to that state. So it has to be some type of class action lawsuit that involves multiple.
Listening to some legal experts, and they were saying that now the cases simply have to be filed differently. They have to do it in the class action filing. And in this case, with this recent ruling, it only applies to the 22 or 23 states that were involved in this particular case that led to this ruling. So that's my understanding from what I was looking at.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. That ruling, I wasn't expecting this, man. I thought the Supreme Court was gonna be a little more wiser. You know, going by the arguments from last month, 2 months ago. I just thought it was. I was just like, wow. I was actually shocked to see this about the injunction.
But if you paid attention to the arguments, Amy kept asking about individual versus class action versus state.
I mean, if you look at Sotomayor's low dissent there, she went off, man.
But it was about birthright. It was about birthright citizenship.
Take the birthright out. Take the birthright out. Right. What I'm saying is, her overall opinion, you know, her dissent was like, that's how I thought it was when they went up. Listen, let's be honest. The Trump lawyers, they did.
You read her dissent already? Because I haven't read it.
No. Listen, it came out. What you saying? You know, some of her quotes and comments, right? What I'm saying is, when I actually listened to it, I listened to the whole 2 hours of the arguments.
That's just the oral arguments. You said her dissent. I'm trying to figure out.
No. What I'm saying is the oral arguments of the Trump lawyers, I thought got ate up. I thought they did terrible. That's why I'm surprised that this injunction thing is going on. You know, that's just from my vantage point, that they ruled 6-3. I thought, you know, the Supreme Court justices did their thing. You know, that's just my opinion.
So if they did their thing, you're surprised? I'm confused.
I'm surprised that I'm surprised that
those men weren't really asking any questions that men.
Yeah, and what was their thing? When you said they did their thing, what do you mean by that?
The thing when Ketanji Jackson was up there, when Sotomayor, when people that was asking questions, right? Trump lawyers was like, duh. You know, it was very. I thought it was one-sided. I was surprised to see this 6-3 injunction. I'll be honest with you. As a person that voted for Trump, I didn't expect nothing. I thought they was going to strike. I thought it would have been 6-3 the other way, to be honest with you. And that's what most MAGA people think.
Okay. Not from the men. I thought the men were going to fall in line. I might have thought, but when she gave us the roadmap. She did give us the roadmap during her oral arguments. Amy, but Amy asked some really good questions that does make sense, right? So did Jackson. So did Sotomayor. So did all the ladies asked really, really good questions. It was the men that I had an issue with. Freaking Clarence Thomas is a fucking disappointment. Every time they referred to him, he fucking moved around. Like, he didn't say shit. They had to go to someone else. Fucking embarrassing.
Yeah. Like, he never say anything much. He does never say much.
That's a snipe. But I mean, it was only a matter of time before we got to this, right? It was only a matter of time, and I'm sure there are other cases before the court. I mean, something's going to stick sooner or later, and they are relentless. I think I read somewhere, like Mr. Trump, this is nothing new to him. I got some stats on how many lawsuits he's been involved with over the years. I think it's somewhere near like 14,000 or some crazy number. And this is what he does. This is the tactic that he does. He deploys, he sticks up the system. That's what he does. He tries to wear people out with litigation. That's what he does. He learned a long time ago how to use lawyers. And he stuck with it. He got the formula.
Yeah, but his lawyer was trapped.
Oh yeah, they were low budget.
I guess it's
Most of his that Clarence though, boy, man. Yeah, I know he has security. I definitely know he has security around him.
I'm gonna say it again. I can't believe me and this nigga born on the same day, different year.
What day is that? What day was that?
October 23rd, where they both confused because they both got Libra and Scorpio inside their fucking body.
I'm not confused at all. I thought I'm
That's right in the cusp. So you have both of those signs in your body.
Do y'all realize
Libra, but
Oh, it's cold. Good God. I can put the clothes on.
Well, you know, they come from different countries and cultures, so I get
Different countries have different cultures, so I get it.
Hey, you guys realize that if this bill is passed, it doesn't go into effect until after or it goes in right before the November. Yeah, so those things are scheduled to take effect after the midterms. Yep.
But what happened to this Canada situation? Y'all was talking about Canada and I fell asleep.
What happened with Canada?
Something about he's going to implement some new tariffs or something right away in 7 days.
Oh, God.
Y'all didn't hear that?
To Canada?
Nah. I've been off the grid all day. Yeah,
He pissed him off about something. Let me see. Oh, child. That's cold.
I found it, lady. It says new tariff quotas on steel mill products, imports from non-free trade partner countries. It's going to be effective June 27th. Up to 2.6 million tons of steel imports. Imports beyond the threshold will face a 50% surtax. And the reason why they're doing it is because it says they're doubling. So Trump doubled the U.S. tariffs to 50% on metals earlier this month. Many countries began redirecting their excess exports to Canada. Ottawa responded to prevent a flood of cheap foreign steel that could undercut its domestic market. And they're doing this as a measure. This is the measure aims to stabilize market prices, safeguard jobs within Canada's steel sector, and it's a temporary calibrated response.
Calibrated response to what?
Trump's doubling of U.S. tariffs on 50% of metals. So I guess with the metals, it's a 50% tariff.
Damn. Hey, Matt. Cool. Listen, somebody sent me a message about an hour ago. I'm just saying that Clubhouse, if you're listening, at Clubhouse, I'm calling on you. I need you to hear me. This is First Lady C. And this anonymous thing is not working for us because we have this jackass that likes to go into people's spaces, have his camera loaded, people's pictures and stuff are out here on the web. It's not right. It just isn't right. I'm sorry. You gotta stop this shit. You gotta put a stop to this anonymous thing. Because recording people when they haven't advised that they can be recorded, it's not right. So Clubhouse, I know you're listening to me and I hear you. But this guy, Edward, you know, the one that calls himself God hypnosis and all that, he's gotta be stopped. The fact that he has about 1,200 accounts on Clubhouse is absolutely insane. The fact that y'all allow such security barriers to be violated like that because so many people have reported him and blocked him and you still refuse to do anything is absolutely atrocious. It is disgusting. Nobody should have to go through this.
So who is the nigga, First Lady?
You can't even remove his ass because he's in here and anonymous. He's a white man. His name is Edward. I can't remember his last name, but his name is Edward. But he goes by God Hypnosis. He done changed his name so many different times. I don't even know where he's
still in the room.
He's recording right now. He's in the bottom.
Yeah.
He goes everywhere and records. Go close his room today because of that. It's just everywhere.
They need Clubhouse really needs to take responsibility and get this joker out of here, or let the anonymous thing go so that we can block people out of spaces that we don't want them in. It's not right. They're not using it. Set it up. They're not using it the way
Look at
that
the bottom where it
it's
says others in the room. There's 2 onions in here.
Yeah, well, it's one of them, or knowing him, he might have 2 of them. He might just have 2 of them straightening right now. I don't know. You know, but I just don't like the fact that, you know, you were taking, this is not on recording. It's one thing for Clubhouse to record because for quality and safety and purpose of things like that, and you have it into a vault. But for somebody to be able to stream and monetize on somebody else's content it's insane. I'm not going to use profanity, but it definitely is insane. And it's a security.
He must have had a field day with today's room.
First Lady, I don't know if you saw it, but I'm just curious. Sarah put in the chat as you were talking, he's Matt's friend. And then I looked down and that statement got deleted. Sarah, did you delete that, assuming you meant anonymous as Matt's friend? Did you delete your comment or did someone else delete your comment? And if
He said she's kidding.
You delete it? Oh, okay, but so is that why you deleted the comment? Okay, I hear you.
She said she was joking.
Yeah, First Lady, they have to do something about that. That's crazy. It's one thing if I'm in Lisa's room and she's recording and I'm speaking, I don't have a problem with that. Or if I go into a room and it's recorded, I know it's recorded. I can choose whether or not I want to be there or not. But for him to just come in and stream and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, but that's the thing, that he could stream on a burner. The only thing we don't like about the anonymous is that you can't kick them out. But once again, they can stream on a burner. We have a room with 150 people. What, are we going to kick everybody out? You ain't going to know who's the burner.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, so. They're using the anonymous now because it just came out. But prior to that, he was still streaming the room with a burner.
Yeah, it says in our description in our room, it says we do not authorize. Specifically says, let me go to it. I put it in the description. It says,
No, because here's the thing, Mel. If I have you blocked, you can't get in. If people have his ass blocked, you can't come in.
Yeah, but you just said he had